I think I've peaked already. Good night. Good morning, good morning. Have you still got the snow? Around here, it's all gone, right? In the villages near me, I'm still down to single track. So if you're going along and something comes the other way, one of you has to reverse. Not me. Not me. Good morning. How are you? Would you like to have a look? Blimey, wait till you see today's show. It's absolutely jam-packed. Have a look at the menu. Here we go. So today with me, John Scott, at 8 o'clock, we've got the bold patchwork beanbag, or poof, as it's also known. Lucy Brennan, we've got lots and lots of messages coming in about that. 9 o'clock, we've got the notch neck tunic with Jenniffer Taylor. 10 o'clock, we've got the Wonky Star quilt. I know, before you said anything, she didn't make a mistake. It was meant to be wonky from the start. And then at 11 o'clock, we've got the Appliqué spring chicken. So anyway, shall we start? Shall I show you? Shall I show you quickly? I'll show you, look, right. Look, this is the poof. We've got it in 3 different colorways. We've got it with what they called inside, beans and without beans. It's lovely, isn't it? So that's one of them. That's one of them. So that's at 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock. Oh, look at this. It's gorgeous. This beautiful top that Jennifer's made. What she's going to be concentrating on are the unusual plackets on the sleeve and on the front here. But isn't it lovely? Really lovely. You could dress that up, dress that down, couldn't you, really? Really gorgeous, isn't it? And also, we've got that little Sashiko surprise for you in that hour as well. Thank you. Then, oh, have a look at Lucy's Wonky quilt. No, it's not called a Wonky quilt. Wonky Star quilt. Now that's made with Tula fabrics, isn't it? And it's all about the attention to detail. And if you're thinking, oh, they don't all match, they're meant to. It's improv, like the Hannah's favourite ever improv quilt that Lucy did. No, it's the right way up. It's the right way up, and they're sent to me. The chicken's upside down. 11 o'clock. I was about to let chicken fly then. Chicken flies. Anyway, we'd love you to get in touch. 11 o'clock, what? Yep. We'd love you to get in touch. The best way to do that is go to our website, www.sewingquarter.com. What you need to do is click on Watch Today's Show. You do need to log in. It doesn't cost you anything to log in. Just put your details in. And you see just down the side there, you'll see Message to Studio. All you need to do is write your message there. Keep it to 140 characters if you can, because it does cut you off at our end after 140 characters, but at your end, you can keep typing as much as you like. Scroll down the page. Now, oh, they go early now, don't they? Where's the clock gone? Can't see the clock. Anyway, products from today's show, we've got a zip today. As we introduce different items for your delectation, they will appear there. So if you're watching the repeat later on, you can click on them and pop them in your basket. Talk about popping them in the basket. You see there at the top. Now, I don't quite know oh, it's a zip. I was going to say, there's something wrong with that picture, isn't it? It's disappeared. But do you know what? I think Bex has done her best, hasn't she? A white zip on a white background. She's got a degree in photography and everything. Anyway, you can click on there, add it to your basket. If it's in your basket and you know you want it, please, please, please check out straight away, because you saw what happened again yesterday. Things were selling out. So if you know you definitely want it, the only way to guarantee it is by checking out your one P&P all day long, no matter how many times you check out. Now, we know that you've got photographs to send in today. We know there are poof pictures about to be sent in. So if you want to send an email, which is either a picture, the only way you can send a picture, or a longer message, studio@sewingquarter.com. Studio@sewingquarter.com. I've got one more thing to say before I go behind the desk. Take advantage, because it's only about, what day is it? About the 6th today. So it's only about 9 days away, isn't it, to Sewing for Pleasure at the NEC. I'm there on the Thursday and the Friday. Natasha's there on the Saturday and Sunday. But if you're watching the advert break, there's a way you can get one ticket for free. Buy one, get one free. Anyway, let's get on with the poofs. Oh, now I've got another bit of news. Hannah is my producer du jour, but Wayne is not training, he knows how to produce, but Wayne's doing his first button pushing today in the 8 o'clock, and he's giggling kind of manically in my ear. So please bear with us if anything goes wrong. Okay, right, here we go then. So the poof that is already made is this one here. Now, I haven't got stills to show you yet, but I will show you stills later. What you get in this bundle is you get the instructions, you get the thread, and then you get all this beautiful fabric. So, graphics coming in, I'll better tell you exactly what you get. 3.5 meters of fabric you get there. You get the, oh, and you get the beans. Now, this isn't very interesting to look at, but these are your beans. Imagine, now, very quickly, before I go on, right? Anybody else, if you bought those, what do you bet they put the postage up? Because, you know, that's not going to fit through your letterbox, is it? Anyway, so they're in this bundle. Very, very limited, this one. Now, this one is only available with the beans, this one. So it's the blue and pink. So 3.5 meters. So let me just work out how you get half a meter, half a meter, half a meter. So that's 1.5 there. And then you get one of each of those. £46.98. So now that's the one that's already made, and that one's very, very, very limited. And this is the finished thing. Looks like a flat tire there, doesn't it? Anyway, that's the one that's already made, and that's available just with the beans. You'll understand why I'm saying that now, because the one that Lucy's going to be demonstrating is this one here, which is the green and, the aqua and red one, this one's called. So again, there's the garland, 1/2 meter of garland, 1/2 meter of the cream, 1/2 meter of the aqua, meter of that toile, that's toile in red, isn't it? And then a meter of the red linen look there. So now this one, for £44.99, you get 3.5 meters of fabric. Ow, what was that? Thread, and you get instructions, and you get the beads, and the beads, beads, whatever they're called. Here we go. So you get all of that for £44.99. Now, however, am I going to show the other one now as well? As in this one without the beans. Right. We also, you might already have your beans, or you might not want them delivered through the post, right? So if you do want it without the beans, we also do it without, I'm saying beans. Do I mean beans or beads? Anyway, you can do this again. All the fabric, the instructions, and the thread, £38.99. £38.99 for the fabric, the instructions, and the thread, right? Now, which one would you like me to do next then, Wayne? The stripe one next. I'm ever so sorry, you've got to stop knocking your microphone upstairs, whoever's doing it. Right. Stripy fabric. This is gorgeous, look at this. So you've got stripe, you've got pink stripe, you've got the cream. Now look, you've got kaif in there, trefoil kaif, and you've got the gorgeous cornflower. All of that, plus the instructions, plus the thread, plus your beads, £49.99. That one's with the beads, £49.99. It's gorgeous, that one. I love those fabrics together. They look stunning, don't they? Now, maybe you want that beanbag without the beans. They called it a beanbag, but I thought it was a poof myself, didn't you? Yeah, anyway, all the same fabrics, the thread and the instructions. 42. No, it's not the beans that are wrong. It's that they called it a beanbag suddenly. Like the first one was a poof, and now this one's a beanbag. And I definitely call it a poof. £42.99. Bright and Stripe beanbag kit, fabric 3.5 meters, instructions to thread, £42.99. Okay, and then last but not least, this is a lovely bundle, this one. I don't know how you're going to choose because they're all stunning, aren't they? This one's lovely. This one's called, I'll just get my beans. Purity, that's it, Purity Fairy Tale, this one's called. So you get your 1/2 meter, that's gorgeous fabric, isn't it? Now, so you get that, you get the, it's that pumpkin linear, you get vanilla linear, you get the green spot on, and you get that lovely duck egg linen look. Plus the thread, plus the instructions, plus the beans, £48.99. £48.99. And then if you want it very quickly, without the beans, beans gone. So you get, again, you get your 3.5 meters of fabric, your thread, and your instructions. Without the beans, here it comes. There you go, £42.99. Now remember, if you're new, buy two ways, 0800 112 4433, ring the call centre, or of course you can buy on the web, sewingcourse.com, but you do need to log in to buy on the web. Right, I think that's everything here. I'm going to go and see Lucy. Oh, it's very hot in here today, isn't it?
It's very hot in here.
Very warm. Mwah. Right. Now, this is foundation paper piecing. Now, if you didn't see yesterday's show, we did foundation paper piecing yesterday with the balloons, didn't we?
Yes.
But is this the same technique then?
It's the same technique. This is obviously because it's a different pattern. It's
okay, I've just got to turn it
slightly
down
different.
Yeah.
Okay. the principle's exactly the same. The technique isn't any different. The technique's the same, but there are just some little tips and tricks for this one that are slightly different because of the way it's constructed.
All right then. So should we start?
Okay.
Sorry, should we start? Then I interrupt. Because yesterday's foundation paper piecing was all little like this.
Yes.
And I never thought about doing, because this is quite big pieces, isn't it?
Yeah, it is big. It finishes at a really good size. And obviously we're creating that circular top section, and that's all pieced. That's all foundation paper.
The top, but the rest of it is just putting.
Yes.
Oh, we have to say, don't cut all your fabric out to start with. Just start with your top.
Start with the top.
Start with the top to start with.
So just start with the top, and you just are cutting strips.
Right, and it tells you that in the instructions.
Yes, so that's nice and easy. The thing to bear in mind as well is you want to cut your strips slightly larger. And I would cut them slightly wider than it says in the pattern.
Okay. Because
you haven't got very much leeway. So, but just by making them wider, you're just giving yourself a bit more wiggle room.
Okay.
So.
And also, one of our fabrics here is a directional fabric. Do we have to watch out? The toile is a directional fabric, isn't it? Do you have to watch, because it's going? Oh, I suppose it's going around in a circle. So whatever you do, if you cut them all the way, that one over there is going to be the opposite way around to that one anyway. So it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
And on which one? The Amy Butler, there's more. The Amy Butler sold. There's more in baskets than the one that's at the end there. There's more in baskets than we've got stock of. Because the stripy ones, you have to work out. You have to plan where your stripes are going, don't you?
Yes.
Because if you had your stripes in B going that way, you'd have one stripe, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and so you might want to cut them the other way.
Yeah.
And you can, with any of them, decide where you want them to go. You don't have to put your fabrics in the same place that I've put them.
No, of course
The
not.
ones that you've got a larger quantity of, obviously that's going to make up the side and the bottom. So you need
yes. So in each bundle,
yes.
Like for this one, for example, you've got more of the toile and more of the red linen look than you've got, so you know that those two are your bottom and your side.
Exactly.
And not just necessarily top.
Yes, exactly.
But the others you could move around
The others you can move around as you want to, and even within the top you can move them around.
Yes.
So because you'll have some left over because you're not cutting very many strips for the top part. So you can put those where you like.
And there's two templates. You've got to remember there's two templates in here,
So there's two templates in the booklet. So you've got all of your instructions laid out step by step, and then you've got two full-size templates. So you need to photocopy these, so you need six of
each. So six of A and six of B. Because they're going in opposite directions, aren't they?
Yes, so that's what makes the points.
Morning, my two favourite people. Lucy, are you going to the NEC on the 16th?
No, I'm going to be teaching in Oxford.
Oh, are you?
So sorry.
I'll be there, though, on the 16th. Hang on, I can't have two people to... Oh, got a photo. Sharon, I can hardly hear you, Hannah, sorry. In case she just went, yeah. I said, I can hardly hear, and she's gone, yeah.
Oh,
that's from
beautiful.
Sharon. Oh, that's nice. Now, it's lovely, isn't it? Has she fussy cut it, or is it just the way it's worked? It's just the way it's worked.
It's just the way it's worked, but it looks great with those bold patterns.
It was her first attempt at foundation paper piecing.
Fantastic.
Thank you for having YouTube shares. It was a massive help. Do you know what? Maybe, because you always think about, let's start small, but maybe it is better to go big on your first
In a lot
attempt.
of ways, it's easier because you're not fiddling with small pieces.
Well, yes, because yesterday when we did the basket, there were those two really, because we re-watched it last night, and they were really, really narrow, weren't they, those bits?
Yeah. The nice thing about this one as well is because it's so big, you don't need to worry about sewing curves.
No.
You're not actually sewing curves. When you're sewing the side on, it's still straight. You just need to pin.
Yes.
But I'll talk about that later.
But there must be lots of corners, lots of matching when you stick them together.
There is quite a lot of matching.
Because there was none of that yesterday, really. But there's
only a little
bit with the basket.
Yes.
But this you're going to have to match on.
Yes, you are.
Okay, so we photocopied our 6 of those and our 6 of those.
And our 6 of those. So you've got one is like the reverse.
Yes.
So depending on how you put them together.
Oh, I see. Does it make any difference which way around you put them? Because you're still going to do the same effect, isn't it?
Well, no, it doesn't really. It doesn't really. So long as it goes one, then the other, then one, then the other.
And then that one then goes there. So that's fine, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like two pieces of pie. It's just because I've done those ones that way, so I don't want to confuse myself. So I would definitely suggest that you read through the instructions before you begin.
Okay.
Yes, it's literally reversed.
Oh, right, hang on a sec. I was looking, thinking, there's something dreadfully wrong with my eyes today. The letters are reversed on one of them.
The letters are reversed. Then you know that that's the reversed one.
But then you have to be careful, because the B looks like the D, and the D looks like the B.
I know. So,
I think I'd have to colour them in, but anyway.
Yeah, you can colour them in.
Yes.
You can make a note on it of how you want to do. I've laid out my strips in the order that I'm going to sew them.
Oh, okay.
Everyone will have their own method,
Of course,
but you definitely want to have a method in which way you're going to piece
So
them.
now, I'm presuming you're going to subcut, are you?
Yes, as I go along, I'm going to subcut. I'm going to talk it through first because read through the instructions, and in the instructions, she says that the best way of doing this is to start one at A and go to E.
Yeah.
And then start the other one at E backwards. Or you can do it. You can do it the other way around.
Yeah.
And then go down that way. And that's so that your seams are going to go in alternate ways.
Oh,
so that when you come to put the pieces together, they're going to nest nicely.
And does she say that in the instructions?
It says that in the instructions.
Okay.
So I've marked, on the one that I'm going to do backwards,
yes.
I've done this very clever method of just putting a cross, so I know I don't want to start down this end. That's one. So I'm going to start there and work that way.
So you
and this
do that
one I'll
on
start
all
there
your
and work that
photocopy.
way.
So what I'd be tempted to do
yes.
is photocopy all of those, photocopy that one to put the cross and the yes on, and then photocopy
And then photocopy those, yeah.
Elizabeth says, morning, John. I've not been able to watch recently. Oh, Elizabeth, are you all right? It's good to see you again. You're looking very trim.
So then you're going to cut those out. So when you photocopied them on the template, you've got the dashed lines. No, sorry, it's a shaded line, excuse me, on this template.
For your seam allowance.
So, like when I photocopied it, that shading didn't really show through very much.
Okay.
So just be careful that you aren't cutting on the line. See how the line extends to the shaded part? So you want to make sure you're cutting it out.
Oh, so if you photocopy it, it doesn't come out. You have to be careful.
Yeah, you need to be careful.
Yeah.
So
I'd draw that solid line.
And you can just cut slightly outside of the shaded line if you want to as well. Just make sure you're keeping that seam allowance in when you cut out your template.
Okay. Wayne's just trying to tell me something. Half the stock of which one's gone now, Wayne? This one, red and aqua with beans, half the stock has gone. And more than half now. Single figures. Right.
Okay. So I've explained about sewing them the different ways for nesting the seam. So I just want to show how that...
oh, that's very good of you to make a one that went wrong.
You're very welcome. So just to show you the difference and the difference that it makes. So with this one, I started both, so this is two templates sewn together, and I started both at this end and went that way.
Right.
And you can see when you come to piece them together, the points are slightly off. I mean, it's ever so slightly.
I mean, they're slightly.
Slightly.
The thing is, if you bought that from a Moroccan bazaar, I always think of poofs coming from Moroccan bazaars, you see.
Yes.
You wouldn't go, oh, those don't match properly. But,
you might.
Yeah.
So
because you're busy bartering.
This one, this one, I've done it the opposite way. So one going this way, and the other one starting the template here and sewing the strips down this way, and the points match beautifully because the seams nest together.
Okay, so this one won't be used then?
Well, I will, yeah, because I'll just use it anyway when I'm sewing them together.
And you press the seams open?
And then I've pressed the seams open on that one just...
Okay, lovely.
Yeah. Okay, so then we can start piecing. So you can see how that's going to start coming together.
It's nice.
And I like to sew in pairs.
Yes.
And then sew the pairs together.
So how many panels are... There's 12 panels altogether, so you'll make six pairs before anything else?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you get on then.
Okay, so I'm going to start with the one where I'm starting at A.
Yes.
It's the most logical. So you're just taking your strips, obviously I've already cut some from this one, and you're going to lay your template on so that you've got a seam allowance going over the line.
Yeah, we'll have to see that. Hang on, there you go.
Okay,
yeah.
So my seam allowance is just going past the line that the first line I'm going to stitch on, okay? And
but the first one, You don't sew, do you? The first one's just a glue on one, isn't it?
Yeah, the first one you're going to glue on.
Oh,
so
I see. And then you just cut it out. That's why we meant about
you just cut
subcutting.
it, yeah.
you cut
so
it.
you could, if you want to, subcut lots of them, and then, but I just do it as I go along.
Right now, the aqua and red one that Lucy's using with beans, if you all check out, they've all gone. There's more people got it in baskets than they've got it.
Okay. So then I'm going to cut my next piece, which is B. So I lay that over the top, and as I'm sewing, what I want to do is give myself more of the length on the side where the angle is going up. Okay?
Yeah.
Because as I'm piecing, when I fold it back, I need to give myself more length here. So I'm cutting everything wider than the template is to give myself room.
And using scissors, not rotary cutters today?
I'm just using scissors, yes.
Okay.
So I always like to begin by just gluing down that first piece because it just holds it in place nicely.
Yeah.
To think about, I know, remember where I cut it out. So just with about ½ an inch going over the top. And Victoria did the demonstration for this.
Yes.
And she does foundation paper piecing slightly different from me.
So if you want, have we got a date for Victoria doing it then, Wayne?
Valentine's Day.
They're looking it up now.
It was Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, February the 14th.
Yeah, we were on together. So, so you can watch her method or my method. I think the results are the same. It doesn't really matter, but I just do it slightly differently.
So if you went to a foundation paper piecing class, traditionally, would they do your method or they do Victoria's method?
I don't know. I learnt it this way.
Oh, you're just not learning anything else? Well,
I thought about doing it the same way that she did, but that's not how I do it. No,
why should you? Why should you? Yeah. It's interesting. So it's interesting if you watch you do your way now and you watch Victoria's. Some people will prefer your way. Some people prefer Victoria's way.
Victoria's way is probably the right way. But I think it's just how I've learned, and so this is the way that I do it.
So the first one's glued on. The glue pens are available on our website.
So the first one's glued on. You can pin, but I'm just not a big pinner. So then I match that up so that I've got the 1/4 inch. So I can just match it from the front or hold it up and make sure I've got a 1/4 inch there. And then again, I'm just going to move it over slightly so I've got more on the higher side. So when I fold it back, it's going to cover B.
Yes, I've read that one, Wayne. Is it from Elizabeth? Oh, I've got one from... I can't hear you, Hannah. Oh, what sort of paper have you used to photocopy?
Just regular copy paper.
And it'd be cheap if it was in your
put in your printer. It's very cheap. The cheapest one that you can
Well, I suppose so, because you're going to perforate it and rip it.
Yeah, well, you're just going to tear it out. You don't want anything heavy. You don't want to use a heavy paper. I wouldn't use the very best copy paper.
Because that happens here, doesn't it? When the bosses do their posh letters.
Yes.
And then they leave the paper in and we come in the next morning and do all our printing. We're like, oh, this is posh.
And also, if it's that sort of shiny paper, it's more slippy. It can be slippy. So cheaper paper works absolutely fine.
Okay.
And then I'm using the normal foot on my machine so that I can see the lines nice and easily. And I've reduced the stitch length to 1.5. You have to have a shorter stitch length when you're doing foundation paper piecing because you're going to tear out the paper. So you want it to perforate so that you can take the paper out easily. And if it's a longer stitch, you might tear your stitches.
Okay, brilliant.
So everything's in place. You can pin if you want to. And then I'm going to sew it along the line, and on this one the lines extend anyway, so it doesn't matter if you're starting at the edge of the template. That's fine.
Okay.
You're not sort of matching the dots like I did yesterday.
Oh yes, because you can just go straight across, but then it says that on the pattern, the line goes across into the seam allowance, doesn't it? So you don't have to stop when you're stopping.
No, so that's fine. And then I would normally trim that, but because I know that that one is a 1/4 inch, so I don't need to trim.
Okay.
The next one I will because I've cut my strip larger. So just folding that over and I'm going to give it a press.
Press, right. While you press it, I've got to go over and do bundles because there's some important news.
Okay.
So don't do anything else. Just
no, I
won't.
won't.
I promise we'll get back with the sewing. We haven't done much sewing yet. I promise we'll get back on with it. Okay. With all of these with the beans, I'm going to do all the with beans first of all. So which one do you want to go to first, Wayne? Hang on, I can't hear both of you. the aqua one, the aqua and the red one, right? So we've got the aqua bundle there. Oh, there it is, sorry, yeah. £44.99. That's with the beans. You get the bag of beans. Okay, there's more of those in baskets than are available, so I'm going to put that one away now. I won't be able to show that one again. You need to check out your baskets with that one. I do apologise. Right, next one. Stripes next, okay. So, this is gorgeous. This has got a bit of, rogue bean there. You've got lovely, like, almost like fairground stripes in this, haven't you? We're down to single figures of this bundle here. So we've got the stripe in the orange, the stripe in the pink, and the plain biscuit. And then the two, so you got half a metre of each of those. You get the trefoil, a metre, and you get the cornflour, a metre. So they are your sides and your bottoms, as well as on your top and everything. You get the thread, and you get the instructions, and you get the beans. £49.99. Okay? And then this one is lovely, isn't it? Okay, this is called Purity Fairy Tale, I think this one's called. So you get half a metre of the flowers, half a metre of the, it's not pumpkin, I said pumpkin, it's grenadine, isn't it, that one, yeah? Half a metre of the vanilla. Oh, that's with beans, with beans. With beans, I've only got one left. So have I got all of them available without beans? Oh, okay, so I could get that one back out because I've got that one available without beans, so I'll get that one back out. So if you've got, so that's you've done the graphics for that one, haven't you? So I've got all of these now. So basically, apart from the stripy one, did you say they're all sold out now, apart from the stripy one with beans? But if you want to, you might have your own beans. You might want to buy beans from your local store. Because Natasha, when Natasha did this with Victoria Peat, she said, oh, I've always had beans at home. Not beans on toast, beans to fill them in. So now all of these are available. So this is the red and aqua one without the beans. So you still get the instructions, you still get the thread, and you get all of the fabrics, 3.5 metres, for £38.99. I need to stress there are no beans with that one. Yep, show the still so you can see that you don't get beans, that you just get the, not just, but you get the instructions, the fabric, and the thread, £38.99. Okay? Do you want to do the other two without beans as well? So I've then got Purity Fairy Tale without the beans. Without the beans. So again, you get the instructions, the thread, and the lovely 3.5 metres of fabric there. Purity, look at that. Beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. £42.99. No beads. Still. I have to stress that, though. I have to stress that because the bean ones have all sold out. So what? Oh, a lot of you got that in your basket without the beans. Please make sure you check out. And then, last but not least, we've got the striped one, no beans. So you get the orange stripy beans, the orange stripy fabric, the pink stripy fabric, the vanilla, and then you get the metre of the trefoil, metre of the cornflour, the thread and the instructions, no beans, £42.99. Sorry, Wayne, what did you say? Single figures on that one now. Oh, blimey, there's going to be nothing left. It's only past.
I just was thinking, shall I just very quickly talk about the different way of finishing the cushion? Because there is an option for not necessarily needing beans.
Oh. Well, we've got half an hour. Okay. How long will that take you?
Not very long.
How do you make it without beans?
If you put a zip in.
You've still got to put beans in it.
You could put anything in it. You could fill it up.
With old duvets?
On the other, yes.
Hannah's saying.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, hang on, here we go. If you need to store a... Sorry, Lucy. Her hangover duvet is inside a poof that she calls Tony in her lounge, and it's yellow, and it's got a zip on it. So in the mornings, every morning when she's hungover, she unzips Tony, she pulls out the duvet, and she lies on the sofa in front of the telly.
Lovely.
Okay, so can we just finish papering that, and then we'll do the zip on the bottom? Is that all right?
Yes,
is that all right
that's fine. So, so I've done B, okay, and I've just given that a press. And by pressing it, it helps keep that piece in place. So I still don't use pins or glue, but of course you can. So I've cut my next piece, and again, I'm just going to line that up so it's going 1/4 of an inch past the line. So I can see on this side, because the blue fabric's wider, okay? So I'm going 1/4 inch over the line on this side. And again, I want to leave extra fabric along the side that's sloping up, okay?
Yeah.
Because that means when it folds back, it's going to cover that section.
The whole thing, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if I do it here, when I fold it back,
yes,
I haven't got enough there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you just need to be mindful of that. It's easy.
Yeah, of course.
You get into a rhythm of it,
yes.
and it.
My
and
brain's
it is,
not allowing.
No. It
By the
does
end
make
of the balloon
sense.
one yesterday it was, but this one's
Yeah.
I said it's early
It's
in the morning.
the principle's the same. I just haven't got to the trimming
Exactly.
bit yet.
Right, now the red and aqua beanbag is the one we're doing without the beans in it. That's the one we're sewing at the moment. And then the one at the bottom, bright and striped beanbag, is the only one we've got left with beans in the bundle. And I've got a message from a customer. Sorry, just turned in, but can you use freezer paper for foundation paper piecing? Thank you.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. You can cut the freezer paper into A4 size and run it through your printer. You need to be careful and, you know.
Oh.
But you can do that to transfer the template
Now,
on it, or you could trace the template onto freezer
also,
paper.
would you need to be wary which side, because when you come to press it, not that there's glue on freezer paper, but it does stick to your fabric, doesn't it? So you just need to make sure
It does stick to it, but it just peels
off.
away, so
Okay.
it's fine.
Got available
Yeah,
on the website.
it's fine.
Available on the website.
Okay, so I have sewn section C, and then I'm just folding back the paper.
Yeah.
I'm using the add a quarter ruler.
Right, now the add a quarter ruler isn't in stock at the moment, but it will be on the 14th of... Oh, it comes to us on the 14th. What's the difference?
But I have to use it because I can't do it without it
No,
now.
exactly, yeah, exactly.
So then, again, just fold that back and give that a press.
I've said that, yeah. Yeah, the freezer paper is definitely in stock on the website.
And then take the next strip.
Now, you have to make them identically, don't you? Because it would look a bit... Or would you?
Well, I mean, you don't have to. You could have
Oh,
them
no,
be
but that's
different.
the whole point of the lovely star design, isn't it?
It would be a different look. You could maybe have the central ones be different if you wanted. It's up to you.
No, I'd like it the same.
So you can see how, you know, when I'm cutting the strip, there is quite a bit left over, but at least I've got that leeway,
Well, yes, exactly.
you know, there for when I'm cutting
That's
it.
done.
So then again with D. And you've got extra fabric, so don't worry about, you know, you will have enough fabric, even giving yourself that bit of leeway.
And if you make a mistake, you're going to have enough fabric to go back and cut one more strip, aren't you?
Yes, you will. You will. So again, I'm just lining that up. I just sort of hold it up to the light, make sure that's going over by
Well, you said on telly
inch.
yesterday, do it in the daylight.
Yeah, giving myself more room there.
Yeah.
I think you just need to do it when you can concentrate. That's.
We're not doing that again. We did that yesterday. Oh, John, could you use the water-soluble paper so you could leave it in? That's from Liam.
I'm not. I've never tried it, so I'm not sure. I don't know what that feels like.
So you mean Liam? Print the pattern onto the water-soluble paper. So you'd still be doing English paper foundation paper piecing, but it's just water-soluble. So you just wash it afterwards. So it came off, I suppose. Don't know. Good question though.
If you want it to be sort of, you know, because the idea is it's firm enough, it's giving you that foundation. So
Yeah.
I'm just not sure.
Well, no, the thing is, all those different, because we sell those little sheets of stabilizer. I suppose in a way you could use them, but then it takes away the foundation paper piecing kind of with the paper ripping it off and things like that.
Yeah.
Hang on, I had to say something then. What was it? Oh, people asking if you can buy the pattern on its own. Sadly, we don't sell the pattern on its own. I'm ever so sorry, but we don't.
Okay, and then the final one. So, and I do like where I can to try and get it so you see as much of this floral as
Toile
as possible. So just lining that up.
Yeah.
And then stitching on the line.
Mind you, the pattern on that toile was quite all over, wasn't it? There's no, like, there it is. There's no, like, one bit where it's a lot of cream, a lot of the background. You're gonna hit the flowers wherever you cut it, really, aren't you? Okay.
So just folding the paper back. Oh, that one.
Wrong one. This is for later.
That's for later.
Oh, somebody's having a good time in the office, haven't they?
And then just flip that back. And you
see, at this point, it kind of looks a bit... This is at the point yesterday we were at when we were doing the balloons and we put the white bits on. It was like, it doesn't look anything like it's meant to look at this point, does it?
No. It just sort of looks like you've made a bit of a mess.
Yes. Didn't like to say.
And then what you need to do is trim it back. So for the straight sides, I use the ruler, and then the curved sides, I use scissors.
Oh, okay. It's very quiet.
I know. And you don't need to worry about the pointed end.
Yeah.
So long as you have got some fabric extending past
covered,
the point, you don't need to worry too much about that, because you can even trim that back before you put your pieces together. And then the top section I just
So now you're cutting the curved bit with scissors, not rotary cutters?
Yes, I don't like to freehand when there's paper involved.
Oh, of course.
You could do.
Because you're going to blunt your thing, aren't you?
Yeah. And there we go.
Fantastic.
So then, coming to do the next one, I'm just repeating it, but I'm starting at the top and coming down this way. Okay. So shall I talk about the zip first, or shall I do this one?
Oh. Got 20 minutes left. There we go. Sorry, I was in the wrong place. No, I think we should. It's up to Wayne. Wayne, shall we go on to the zip feature, or putting it together and putting the zip in now?
I'm just going to talk about it.
Yeah, but we've got ages then, so you better do another one of those.
All right, I'll do another one of these, and then just keep everybody waiting, guessing what I'm going to say.
What?
Guessing about what I'm going to say about the zip.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, I'm cutting this larger than the template.
Yeah, now this one you're not stitching on. This one's literally just going to be going. Now this is where, because these plain fabrics, you can put either way round, but you do need to make sure that when you put it on the fabric, you've got the real side, the right side facing
So
out.
the right side is always facing out.
Yes.
Yeah, because this is going to be the block.
The finished thing,
block.
Yeah. Lots of people got this in your basket. You remember, it's not yours until you check out. Glue pen available on the website, as I said earlier.
It's so handy. It's great for zips as well, actually.
Will you be using it when we do this? If you were to put the zip in the bottom?
So I might, because I based zips with the glue pen, because it holds them in place nicely. So when you're attaching it, with all of them, but especially with this first piece, you still need to be mindful of having 1/4 of an inch. So you could see I was repositioning it there because I was making sure, even when I trim that back, I've got 1/4 inch this side of the line, and I've got that 1/4 inch running all the way around the template. So make sure your pieces are big enough to do that. So now I'm just going in reverse order.
Like Miss World, in reverse order.
And again, cutting it larger.
Yeah.
And then I'm working from the other way, so I want to make sure I've got extra on the slope that's going up, so I'm going to have extra on this side this time. So just making sure that that fabric's going 1/4 of an inch past the line. And then sewing on the line.
Do you do much foundation paper pieces at home?
Yes, I do actually. I've done, I think because you can create, it's beautiful for patterns like this and stars, and you can create really intricate patterns, and then also fun things. I did like an ugly sweater, ugly Christmas sweater block.
What's that?
I did. It's just a funny pattern of like an ugly Christmas sweater.
Like an ugly Christmas tree?
No, like a sweater. It's like a jumper. I'll show you later.
I haven't got any more messages, Wade.
And I'm also halfway through making a fairy tale quilt that's all foundation paper piece. So I've done a castle and a star. I'm going to do a mermaid, all different things.
So if you're designing one, do you just draw a picture of what you want?
You can do, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morning, John. I always love watching Lucy. That's what this message says from Anne in Essex.
Thank you,
I
Anne.
learned so much. Oh, no. I'm watching this morning from my hospital bed.
Oh, no, Anne.
Oh, I hope you're all right, Anne, my love. Oops. I'll just throw that one on the floor.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, I tell you who hasn't sent in the pictures. A lady made that poo friend. She sent, she showed everybody on Facebook last night. I've got to start remembering people's names. And she was going to send it into the show, but hasn't arrived yet, has it?
I'm off with names either. As well, either. Can't talk today.
No.
No.
Timothy gets all upset because I forget his name every day.
You don't.
I keep calling him Richard. I know. Richard's his boss, but...
Yeah, at least there is a Richard. You've not just made it up.
Richard's never here. Richard's always in the office.
I know. So again, leaving extra fabric on the side that's sloping up.
Yep.
And the cream one I've cut wider as well.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. So we can talk about start talking about the construction of the actual thing. So once you've made the 6 pairs of these.
Yes.
You then start joining those together.
Yeah, so you're joining them together. So when you come to join a pair, you're just nesting up those seams.
Yes.
I put a pin through.
Right.
So the end of the seam. So I'd have a pin that goes through that side.
Yeah. Go on, keep going.
Onto this side. Yeah. So the pin goes directly through.
The point.
Like that.
Yeah.
So you're hitting the point on both sides. I do that all the way along on each point, and then you're just stitching on the line to put them together. And you just repeat that. I sew them in pairs, and then sew the pairs together to make half.
Oh, yes, of course, yes.
Then sew the other side to make a half.
So you work all the way around, just to make 2 halves, yeah.
And then, when you're coming to put the halves together, there are a couple of different things that you can do. I would definitely suggest you use a basting stitch rather than a small stitch. Oh. So initially, when you sew the 2 halves together, sew it with a longer stitch length. Yeah. Open it out and check.
Yeah.
And you can do that even as you're sewing the pieces together if you want.
Oh, I had a question. There's so much noise going on. I can't.
Sorry.
No, it's not your fault at all. Keep going. Oh, no, I know. When you sewed them together then, the 2s and the 2s and the 2s, have you gone back to the normal stitch length?
Yes.
You've stopped your little stitch length, haven't you? So this is done with little stitch length, so you can rip away the paper. But when you stitch that one to that one, you've put your pins through to get it right. But when you stitch that line there, what size stitch have you got there?
The little one.
Still on the little one.
Still on the little one.
So you're still on the
So you can do a larger one, open it out and check. If it's right, put it back and then do the little one. If you do the longer stitch, open it out and it's wrong, it's easier to pick out those long stitches.
That's what...
These little stitches are...
Yes.
It's really difficult
when you're
to pick
stitching
out.
first pair to second pair, do it with a longer stitch.
Yes.
Open it out, make sure you match, because if it doesn't, unpick it then.
Yes.
If it does, do it with the little stitch, move on to the next one. So you've got 2 halves, so you've got 3 there, and you've got 3 there.
So you've got your 2 halves.
Yeah.
And then you are going to sew all the way along. Now, another thing you can do is start in the middle. So when you're coming to sew the 2 halves together, start in the middle, sew out this way, go back from the middle, sew out that way.
And why would you do that?
And do that with a longer stitch, because it prevents shifting. It holds everything in place much neater. I'd still put the pins in all the points.
Okay, but you've done it in a big stitch to start with.
Just do it with a big stitch, check it, and then go back and sew it with it.
Okay, brilliant.
And check it, and if the points aren't completely perfect, but you're happy with it, go back with a smaller stitch.
Don't be unpicking, doing it again, unpicking it, doing it again, unpicking it, doing it again.
My rule is 3 times. Okay. I will unpick 3 times. After that, it's got to be how it is.
All right.
So you do that, and then you've got in your instructions, you've got the measurements for the side and the bottom. we said don't cut out the bottom.
Yes, this is important. This bit.
It is very important. You may or may not want to quilt the top. In the instructions, it uses fusible fleece. You can use fusible fleece or wadding and quilt the top. But if you quilt it, it will bring it in slightly. So you don't want to have cut out the bottom, you know, or it could be bigger if you leave it unquilted or you don't quilt
But also,
so much.
if you're... In the instructions, it says at the beginning, cut out the circle for the bottom. Don't do that because we're not all perfect stitches.
No.
You might have done a scant 1/4 inch. You might have done a large 1/4 inch. And because there are so many seams, it's actually going to make it different, either bigger or smaller.
Yes.
So don't cut out the bottom section until you've actually made the top section, and then you make it exactly the same size, I'm presuming, as your top section.
And I would make the bottom, if you want to quilt the bottom, which Victoria did, and I think it is in the pattern, again, that might shrink it down. So I would cut the bottom piece larger than your top, quilt it if you want to, and then use the top as a template to cut the bottom out. So I would do all of your seams, all of your quilting before you cut the bottom circle out.
Okay, brilliant. Right, apparently I've got an important message for somebody. From Jill. Oh, hello to... Hang on. Hello to my 2 favourite presenters. Right, go. Is foundation piecing the same as quilt as you go? No.
No.
I can answer that if you want me to.
Go ahead.
Quilt as you go, you've got your backing on already. So what we're doing is, it's the same principle. So you put your piece of fabric on and you're folding the fabric back over where it's got to go. But quilt as you go, while you're stitching that, you've got your wadding and you've got your backing on here. So it's literally saying what you're doing. So if it was quilt as you go, you'd stitch, sorry Lucy.
Okay.
If it was quilt as you go, you'd stitch along a line. It would be the other way around. And then you'd fold your fabric back like that. And where you've stitched that line, you've gone through your wadding and you've gone through your backing fabric.
And with quilt as you go, you're always working from the top.
Yes.
So all of your lines are on the top.
Yes.
With foundation paper piecing, we're sewing from the back.
The back, yeah.
So the principle, the idea is the same, but actually it is different.
I haven't got any messages. Can we move on to the, I'm just a bit concerned about the time, about the zip feet. So I've got 6 minutes with you, Lucy, that's all.
So I have a footstool at home, which is very similar to this, a poof. And I put a zip in the bottom.
Right.
So if you want to put a zip in the bottom, the easiest way of doing it is to have 2 larger pieces, like 2 squares or 2 rectangles that are going to end up bigger than your finished circle.
Yes.
So I'm not giving measurements because, like we've said, everybody's might be different.
To pull that up in your each, sorry. So you're saying yours has got
rather
a zip.
than one piece of fabric.
But you've got a zip going across the bottom.
Yeah.
Have you then?
So I didn't cut a circle and then cut it in half.
Yeah.
Just 2 rectangles of fabric. Put a zip in the middle. You can create a flap if you want to cover the zip, and when the zip's inserted, then you cut it out into a circular base.
Okay, your zip, is it the size of the whole circle, or is it smaller than the circle?
You can cut the zip down to just, you know, sort of there.
So it's like an inch in both sides. So you don't want it running into the seam?
No.
No, you wouldn't want it running into the seam, no. So your zip, we could do it on that line there. So you've got your 2 rectangles of fabric. If you're going to just do a normal one, you just sew your fabrics on and turn them out like that. So you've got a big piece of fabric like that with this, big piece of fabric like that with a zip going down the middle.
Yes.
You then work out how big your circle needs to be.
Yes.
And you cut your circle round with the zip running down the middle.
Yes.
And then you just use it as one piece of fabric like you would do with this.
Exactly. So then you just go back to follow the instructions exactly the same way. Then you can fill it with toys, bedding, whatever you like.
You don't have toys in there because people are sitting on it.
Or you can create a lining for your beans.
This is this zip that I've got here, £2.99. You can choose whatever kind of zip you need. This is a YKK dress zip. But if you want to put a chunkier zip in, you could put a chunkier zip in as well if you want to.
I used a YKK.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and it works beautifully. And I've had it for a few years, and it looks good as new.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
And then you can wash it. Then.
And yours has got you've done yours with a flap on it, like a placket on it.
Yes, I have.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
All right, how are we doing time-wise? Till I finish with Lucy? 3 minutes till I finish with
Okay.
Lucy.
Oh, well, I will.
Have you got any,
have you
got any more tips about actually with stitching this? Because the pattern tells you.
Yeah, I mean, don't be fearful of the curve because it's very, it's quite a big circle. It's not tricky to sew the curve. I would definitely pin. With the top section, you've got the seams give you the halfway points.
Yes.
So you can match up your, halfway points and pin as you're going around. But it's not difficult, and all the instructions are there to talk you through it. You do need a little bit of interfacing for your handle to make that nice and secure.
I'll just show you on the this is, it's not a very, I don't know if you're going to see there, that would be your curve going around, the base and your curve sewn together. It talks you through it, yeah. Because making the sides there, making the handle, finishing off, all that's all in the instructions there. Okay.
So you just do it exactly the same way, even if you had a zip on the bottom. And then you can add a self-covering button or something on the top if you want to.
Now, you talked earlier about, we've only got 2 minutes left, but you talked earlier about quilting.
Yes.
Did Victoria quilt this? Oh,
yes.
She's just echoed the line.
Yeah.
But you could do whatever you wanted to.
You can do whatever you want to, and that's why I haven't talked about sizes, because it might shift depending on how you quilted it.
You see, I've got a big wooden elephant that has like a half the size of this as its cushion on the top. Mm-hmm. And what I would have done is I'd have quilted more with your fusible fleecing in it.
Yes.
Because what mine's done, because I've had it for years and Norman sleeps on it, is it's just completely sagged in the middle. So be a good idea, once you've made your circle, put your iron-on fleece on. And personally, I'd put a lot more quilting in just to make it that, because it's like the pad, like a dining room seat pad, really, isn't it?
And the fusible fleece is nice as well, because that does just give it a bit of strength.
Yes.
So.
Okay, and then would you, if you use wadding, would you then put another lining on the back?
You should do.
Because all your little beans are going to get stuck in there, aren't they?
Yeah, they would. Just a plain fabric or
an old sheet.
Something on the back, yes.
Exactly, right. Now, that's that show. What are you doing in an hour?
Wonky Stars.
And why is it called Wonky Stars?
Because they're wonky.
Now, why, you've said this is definitely for a beginner. Why is it for a beginner?
Anybody can do it, but it's great for a beginner because it's a really easy sew and it's fun to make. That's what I really like.
What we should do then is we should get a beginner down in the next hour.
Find one, rope one in.
And they can stitch one up for us.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you. Hannah said she'd love to do it.
Yay!
Right, well, she's hardly a beginner anymore, is she? Because she's done her, what is it, what's it called? English paper piecing. No, I'm thinking of the tumbling blocks. Right, okay, right. We've got still some of those left. Right, okay, with this bundle here, which is the bright stripes with beans, you've got the instructions, you've got the thread, you've got the stripy fabric in the orange, you've got the stripy fabric in the pink, you've got the plain cream, they're all half a metre, you've got 1 metre of the trefoil by Cave, and you've got 1 metre of the cornflour, and you get the beans, £49.99. Now, that's the only one that I've got left with beans in it, right? That's the only one we've got left with the beans in it. There it all is. That's kind of out of proportion a little bit, isn't it? Because that bag of beans would be the tiniest bag of beans and the biggest instructions. The biggest instructions you've ever seen in your life. Okay, now, once you've all checked out, that's sold. That's sold, right? Okay, so then, now you can also do this one without beans. I've got that one in stock. Okay, I've got loads of time, yeah. So, this one, you get I've got two ladies disco dancing and waggling their what's-its at me at the moment. And I've dropped my thread. So you get the instructions, you get the thread, you get all the fabric, the 3.5 metre fabric, no beans in that one, £42.99. And over half the stock with no beans is gone already. Over half the stock of that one's gone with no beans. Okay, then I've got the one in the middle here, which is the Purity Fairy. No beans. You get 1/2 metre of the floral, 1/2 metre of the grenadine, 1/2 metre of the vanilla, 1 metre of the spot-on apple, and 1 metre of the, is it duck egg linear, no, not linear, linen look cotton at £42.99. There's the bundle on that one. No beans. No, I know I'm only telling you because I don't want you to order it thinking, I want you to order it, but I don't want you to go to the post, but where's my beans? Where's the beans? Right, now this is the one that Lucy was working with just now. The one with the beans is sold out. This is the one with no beans. You get 1/2 metre of garland, 1/2 metre of cream, 1/2 metre of aqua, 1 metre of the red toile, which I love, and 1 metre of the red linen look macawa. And you also get the thread, and you also get the instructions. £38.99. Lots of people have got that in their basket. So if you definitely want that, make sure you check out. Because as I keep telling you, it's not yours until you check out. Right, don't go anywhere. Jenniffer Taylor is up next. And oh, she's making that lovely notch neck top, isn't she? It's really, really gorgeous. But what she's going to concentrate on is not the actual, because it's a very simple top to make, side seam wise and everything, but the placket and the lovely placket on the sleeves, that's where you're going to, so we're going to concentrate on those and putting the ribbon on. And we've got a little Sashiko surprise this hour as well. So don't go anywhere. She doesn't even know what the Sashiko surprise is yet. We will see you in 3 minutes with Jenniffer Taylor. Do not go anywhere.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love. Sewing Quarter have an exclusive, amazing price for our viewers on the Elna Expressive 920 sewing and embroidery machine. This ultimate machine is the perfect investment to help you enjoy sewing, quilting and embroidery like never before, with a range of impressive features to help you every step of your project. This ultimate machine is the perfect investment to help you enjoy sewing, quilting and embroidery like never before, with a range of impressive features to help with every step of your project. This top-of-the-line machine truly has the wow factor, with an embroidery speed of 1,000 stitches a minute and a large hoop size, making embroidery a breeze. The high-resolution touchscreen allows you to create your own stitches and designs, and it also has an automatic needle threader for ultimate ease. The machine also includes 10 fonts for monogramming, 13 one-step buttonholes, and a variety of over 400 stitches. You'll be spoilt for choice. It also has an expansive bed space to allow for quilting and larger makes, to make it the machine you can't live without. Elna Expressive 920 sewing and embroidery machine means you won't be able to wait for your next make. Head over to our website to find out more about our amazing exclusive price on this fabulous machine. Don't forget, shopping with us is easy and simple. You can just contact us at 0800 112 4433 and speak to our UK-based call centre to place an order, or shop online with us at www.sewingquarter.com.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for the Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more.
On Wednesday, the 7th of March, join us for a bag-making masterclass with Victoria Peat. This stylish bag was first shown in Simply Sewing magazine and was designed by Debbie von Grabler-Crozier. With its tassel zip and twist-locked pocket, you won't be able to help showing off this fabulous make. We've handily put together this standout design in an easy-to-make kit in several colourways of cherry reds and bold blues. So sit back and relax as Victoria talks us through her brand new accessory. Tune in and get sewing at 9 AM on Wednesday the 7th of March, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Follow us on Twitter for more inspiration, top tips, news, and share your own creations with us. Sharon, she knows. She works here. Oh, Hannah's mum, Sharon, who's lovely. I've yet to meet her. I've just read her crazy messages and everything. But she sent Hannah a message going, oh, I get this good deal for you from Sewing Quarter tonight. Yes, we work here. We know the fabulous deal on subscriptions. Thank you, Sharon. Anyway, isn't this lovely? Isn't this gorgeous? Do you know what? It's such a versatile top because you're going to be able to dress it up and you're going to put it with your jeans or your jeggings and dress it down, aren't you? Now, the actual basic construction is actually quite simple, but what is a little bit tricky sometimes is the neckline. And so Jennifer's going to take us through that, and a bit of grosgrain ribbon on the side there. And also these here. Now, these make the garment, don't they? Those lovely, like a little placket that goes on the sleeve there. Isn't that lovely? So Jennifer's going to take us through those because that's where you're going to find it tricky. You're going to find it tricky. Before we go to Jennifer, I've got patterns and I've got fabric. So starting with the pattern, got it in 2 different sizes. This is 4 to 14, this one. Well, it actually says on the packet, small, extra small, small, and medium. But it goes, it says 4 to 14 on my graphics, though. Yeah, okay then, so it's 4 to 14, 4 to 14. If you get yours home, you'll see the size, when you get yours home, you'll see all the sizes on the back there. And also, if you go onto the website, there are pictures of the front and the back, and you can zoom in on the pictures, you can read everything you need to read there. So it's $8.99, Mrs. Notched Tunic and dress. Now, obviously, you've got, look at all the different options. You've got the blouse that Jennifer's made. You've got the smock dress. You've got the lovely summer dress there. Oh, it's dress with sleeves, summer dress there. And the sleeveless maxi. Anyway, that's the 4 to 14. And the other size range goes, oh, this is good. Goes up to a size 26, this one. So this must be 16 to 26 then, this one. There you go. Well, no, because the bottom one goes to a 14, and this one starts at a 16. So you're right. Some of them do a crossover, don't they? Both size 14 or whatever. So this is definitely 16 to 26. The other one's up to a 14. £8.99. I'll just spin it around so you can see the back of the pack there. So you see all the different styles that you get on the back there. Okay. Now I've got some fabrics to show you. Now you'll have seen the fabrics before, but we just thought this pattern. There are all sorts of solids and fabrics and all our new fabrics on the website, but these are the ones that the scheduling department thought would look rather lovely in this pattern. So I'll start at the bottom. Oh, do you want me to start at the bottom? Yeah, I'll start. Right, so this is linen look in navy blue. It's not got any linen in it at all. It's literally 100% cotton. They've called it linen texture. But it's not, it's just the print that's got the linen texture. It's 100% cotton. It's like a Macao solid that they've put a lovely print over the top. So it's got a linen texture to it. That's $4.99 for half a metre. Remember, it's 4 inches wide and it's machine washable. Then I've got another linen look, linen texture. This is in the grey, which is very stylish, I think. So look, you can see the texture better on that one, can't you? So it says linen texture fabric, no linen, just 100% cotton, $4.99 for half a metre. That's like it's called steel, but it's like flannel. Looks like flannel, doesn't it? That's rather beautiful, that one. Then I've got 3 linear prints. I've got linear prints here, which are this one's, I think this one's, is it indigo, this one? I'll just wait and see. The dark blue one. Indigo. Now, I don't know how much you can see it, because I was watching a show with, that Natasha was doing the other day, and she showed one of the linears, and I couldn't see it on my telly, but it's got this really lovely, irregular, kind of crisscrossy effect. Can you see that on your telly at home? It's $4.99 for half a metre. $4.99 for half a metre, that's lovely, isn't it? So that's linear. So that was linen. That was linen texture. That one's called linear print. I've also got linear print in the heron, which is this one, which you might be able to see the pattern on this one a bit more clearly. This would look lovely if you, well, we've used the indigo one on the one that we've made, but it looked lovely as the cuff. Do the cuff and the collar and the hemline in this one. That'd be rather nice, wouldn't it? That's that one, $4.99 half metre. Now, this one you definitely won't see the pattern at home. This is linear again. This, I think, in fact, I think this is one that Natasha was actually showing on my telly. Vanilla, this one's in. $4.99 for half a metre. You'll be able to see it on YouTube and on our website, but just on the telly, you might not get to see that. And then I've got one other fabric, very, very bright. Now, the camera won't like this. You'll love it, but the camera won't like it. Optical white. Optical white, spolid. I'll start again. Spectrum solid in optical white. You see, lovely, isn't it? Right, okay. Okay, the pattern's already there, but I'll take the later cost, right? Oh. Does Sashiko surprise what? Bit later. Oh.
Sashiko
if it happens. Let Mandy join us. Hello,
Mandy,
you.
hello.
Looking very colourful today, like the sunshine.
Thank you.
Right. Pattern itself, like I was just saying, I'll let you explain, because I think the pattern itself looks quite simple.
No, it is.
But the trim is where we'll have the...
So putting it together as far as the body, the darts, the sleeve insertion, and even the bands on the bottom, simple.
Yes.
This part of the neckline, simple. What is complicated is, like you say, the placket details on the arms and the neckline. And you can also have them on the sides as well, but that's why I thought I'd give you both options, that you could go simple with the pattern, or you can start really getting complicated with the placket.
But I don't want to put people off.
No.
It's doable.
Well, this is why we're here.
Exactly.
This is why I'm here, to show you.
Come on then, show us.
Okay, so I'll quickly go through the front of the pattern.
Yes.
So I'm just going to concentrate on the neckline, and then we're going to do the sleeve. So there's not going to be any construction as far as the garment.
So we're going to be doing this bit here, which is the neckline. Just coming in with the overhead. So we're just doing this bit here, which is the front opening.
Yep.
And we're going to be, we'll then show you a sleeve pattern with the same thing at the bottom of the sleeve. So there'll be no making of shoulder seams, no putting sleeves in, none of that.
I'm not even going to put the dart in. Okay.
No. Just concentrating on details.
Just concentrate on details. So this is the front of the pattern. Okay, it's on the fold at the moment, so you can see that we have a fold line here. However, you can see that we've cut into that fold to give us our opening for our placket.
Oh,
okay.
yes.
So that's the first thing. So it is on the fold placement, and it does tell you in that section there.
Yes.
We've talked about these quite a bit recently. We had a good show on Saturday, didn't we, about our waistline and our bust and hip measurements. So again, depending on your the difference between where your bust and your waistline is, you can lengthen and shorten if you want to. So that's another option there for you. So that's this bit here. Okay. And the main thing about this, it's like all patterns, like with our skirt we did on Saturday, it's all about getting those notch details in. So obviously you've got all your triangles in all of the seams here.
There you
You've got your triangle notches there, you've got your dart situation going on there, as well as your, there's a placket on the side if you want to have it on the hemline of the top skirt or of dress, sorry. But the ones that we're going to be concentrating on are these ones here.
Just going back to the darts here, it always amazes me how different, because dress sizes, there's not that much difference between them, is there? But where the dart placement, it's really, I mean, I know this because I'm a pattern cutter, but normally
you break it down
you'd only
like
have one dart on there. If I was making it for you, the dart would be here. Do you know what I mean? If I was making it for Hannah, the dart would have to be somewhere down here, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? But it's just, when you see the darts together, it really is important. And that's why marking it up, you can't just go, oh, I've got a dart on the side seam there, I'll bung one in there. It really is important to get the point, you know, the end point of the dart and where it actually sits on the body.
Where it sits on the body. No, it's good to mention that. So the ones that we're really going to concentrate on is this one here in the triangle, which is where we've cut into that fold line.
Right.
And then we've also got our 2 points of reference here, which will give us 3 points of reference later.
Right.
Okay, so make sure you get those in. So I've gone ahead and done my tailor tacks ahead of time, okay? So I'm going to take, once you've transferred all your knots, you can get all your pins off and your pattern off.
Before you take the pattern off, this is obviously, is this going to be a stay stitch line?
That's a stay stitch
line. Do you
line.
not need to mark, there's no notch, so it doesn't say to, but is that as far as you sew up there?
Yeah, so I would, because I know that that's about an inch away from where the cut line is, so I'm eyeballing that.
But if you're new to it, would you put another tailor tack in there?
You could do if you want to.
Just so you know where to stop.
Yeah, you would do, absolutely. Yeah. And then my tip for that would be that in any of the situations where you've got notches on the pattern, when it's in the sides, I really wouldn't worry about it too much. But when you've got like the points of your dart, for instance, or if you've got your points here, I would go ahead and put a little bit of sellotape on, and like you say, if you're going to put an extra notch in, then cut into the paper, then that way when you're making this top time and time again, you're not ripping your pattern anymore than you would
once you've cut into this paper, you've cut into it.
It. So just secure it with a bit of sticky tape, and then it just makes your pattern last that little bit longer. Cool, so I'm just peeling that back for you. So that's the front of our pattern covered.
Right.
So the bit that goes into this section is a separate piece of fabric, okay? So this is this pattern here, which is your pattern piece number 2.
Now, we're doing it in a different colour.
We're doing it in a contrast,
but if you wanted to, you could still do it in the same colour as your, you know, if you were making the whole of it in the vanilla, you could still do the even though it's a contrast, it's still, it could be a subtle contrast of the same fabric.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It doesn't have, you can make this as colourful or as demure as you like. It's entirely up to you. But it will still be a separate piece whether you are using the same fabric or not. So basically, this is our pattern piece. So this is pattern piece number 2. And this is giving us this really lovely frame shape on our top. So where we have these 2 points of reference on here, if I just pull this way so it makes a bit more sense for you. You got your points of reference on here.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
So you got your points of reference on there. It's basically echoing these points of reference here. So if I pop this on the fold like that, can you see where that shape's coming in?
Yes.
Which is exactly the same as that. So that's going to be inserted into there, which is why it's really important that you're transferring these notches on here as well as on your 2 pattern pieces which are over here, and I've gone ahead and done that already for you. Okay. So with your placket, you're going to say something?
I was going to ask a question, but I don't know if it's the right time. Why is there like a dart almost in the middle of that pattern?
So that's basically, if we go to our Mandy the Mannequin.
Yes.
We're going to cut into that piece later on. So if I just bring this over, that's the shape that you're getting in this bottom part here.
Yes.
But to get this V here, we're actually going to cut into that placket.
Course. Yeah.
So I'm glad you've mentioned that, because on the pattern, that's the point of reference there. That's giving you that very deep V. Whereas if you don't want the V to be that deep, we can change it.
Oh,
so
good.
we'll talk about that a little bit later.
No. I'm just looking at it thinking I don't know what it's for.
What is it? What is it? Exactly. So just remember this point. This is where the V is at the moment, so it's low or fairly low. If you wanted to be a little bit more conservative, then we can change the dart shape. So
and that's why the pattern isn't cut. I've got it now.
Yeah, okay. Brilliant.
If you are buying the bigger of the 2 patterns, please check out your graphics. Please check out your baskets. 16 to 26, yeah.
Okay, so I'm just peeling back now.
Okay.
To reveal my darts on that position. So you can see we've got that nice V shape there. And then we've already got our little bits here. So the first thing that we're going to do is exactly what John was referring to, is our stay stitching on our pattern, because we're going to need to cut into these sections. So I'm going to come up about an inch.
Yeah, so this is where I would have my other tailor tack would be here, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so it's about an inch up. So if you want to put your own tailor tack in, you can. It's about an inch. It doesn't, basically the cut's going to be there. So even if it's there, that'll be enough.
It doesn't matter, does it?
So it just comes down. You're going to sew into these 3 points and then come back up to about there.
And a stay stitch is literally what it says.
It's a stay stitch. It's not coming out, and you're going to be stitching with it on the seam allowance. It's not within. So in this pattern, it's 1.5. So you need to stitch on 1.5.
Oh, so it's dead on.
Dead on.
The line. Dead on the line.
Dead on the line.
I'll see you do a little bit of that. My Sashiko surprise is arrived, so I have to go over in a minute and show that. We'll just see Jenniffer stitch this. Then I'll go and do my Sashiko surprise.
Okay, so I'm coming down to my first dart. So make sure that you really do get to know the timing of your machine. So I'm right in that tailor's tack now.
Yeah.
I'm then pivoting. So I'm using not only the tailor's tack as my reference, but I'm also using the seam allowance guide on my machine as well to ensure that I'm still using that 1.5 seam allowance. So if you're a little bit concerned, then go in with your water erasable pen or a tailor's chalk and draw the lines on if you're not so confident.
Jo Carter always does that when she's got a funny notch like that. She always draws in, because your brain doesn't always let you stitch where it actually should be. Your brain's saying, oh, I need to go here, but actually, because it feels like you're going too far down and too far out, doesn't it?
Yes,
Whereas it's marked in, you're all right.
You're all right. So I've got one more. That's it. So that's the third one done. So now I'm going to pivot and then just stitch up a little bit.
To the point.
done.
Okay, right, don't do anything else.
I
I'm
won't.
going to go off and do my, my Sashiko surprise.
Sashiko surprise!
What we thought would be lovely, because of the kind of feeling of the top over there, on the panel around the bottom, you know, there's a lovely plain panel around the bottom of the top, bottom of the top, or maybe on the cuffs, you want to do it on the cuffs. There you go. Right, what they've done, oh, these are nice. Now, they're like a border, they're like border patterns. Now, Jennifer's not going to do them, but she can talk you through them later. But we just thought we'd show them now, because a lot of you love Sashiko, and these are new to us today, these borders. So you get all three of these templates. That's like the waves facing each other, isn't it? That's like a embellishment of the waves, isn't it? So there's that one. There's this one. Because the thing is, the reason they're not in the pattern is how many, you could use these on cushions, you can use these on anything that you want to use. And look at this one, brand new today, look, 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 look. So in the bundle, you get the 3 templates and you get 6 variegated, there's the bundle there. And then you get 6 variegated threads for $13.99. Whenever we do these templates, they fly out. They absolutely fly out. We're not doing the, not Calypso, what's it called? Chart copy paper. We're not doing the chart copy paper in the Hera market today because I know a lot of you will already have that. And this is just an ideal addition. If you've already got some Sashiko, this is an ideal addition to what you've already got. It's fantastic, isn't it? So all of that for $13.99. It very much goes with the style of the top, doesn't it? Okay, now, Sashiko was originally used as a fixing, you know, like a mending, upcycling, wasn't it? Whereas now it's kind of used as a decorative. Some people we know put it on denim jackets that haven't even got a hole in to make it look like they had a hole in so they could say. Right, somebody's asked about the ribbon. I'll show you the ribbon very, very quickly. It's the grosgrain ribbon. We've got it in 4 different colours. Pink first. I'll be back, Jennifer, in a second. So this is what Jennifer used this down the V of the neck and on the cuff of the. We've used that. You get a full roll, obviously. 4 meters, 15 millimeters wide, £4.50. That's the pink grosgrain. Silver grey next. Natural charms. That's Hannah thinks she's got there. 4 meters, £4.49. That's the thing is, right, when I moved house, before I even came to work at Sewing Quarter, I opened all the boxes. There was loads of this in the boxes, and I've got no idea where it came from. Which colour next? Navy. It's a gorgeous colour, this one. Lovely grosgrain ribbon there, 4 meters for £4.49. And last but not least, I've got the black. Now, this is how yours will arrive, all wrapped up nicely like that with the full amount. £4.49. Now, I'm just going to show you the Sashiko bundle again in a still. Loads in baskets. Please make sure you check out. So you get the 3 templates and you get the 6 variegated threads there for $13.99. Now, we're not doing Sashiko in this show, but Jennifer will just talk you through it later on. Say it again. Oh, yeah, where it might go, I think. Right, back to the sewing.
Right, okay.
Sorry.
No, not at all, not at all. So I've gone ahead and done a stay stitching on there. I've also cut into it. So this is where you need to get a nice pair of scissors that cut right up to the tip. Scissors. Cut right up to the tip because you're going to be cutting right up to that stitch line, but you're not cutting.
I see now, that's why you sew, because a lot of the times the stay stitching is inside the seam allowance. That's why that's on the seam allowance. Because you're cutting right in.
Right, otherwise it won't pivot.
Yes.
And then I've done the same again on this one, but we're not cutting into that one. It's just to give it that bit of structure. So I've still got my 3 points of reference. Yep. And then I'll just trace the line with my fingers because you might not pick it up on the camera. Brilliant. Okay, so it's exactly the same as that, all right?
Lovely.
So now it's right sides together. Well, now this is going to be difficult because obviously this is white.
Yes.
Whereas with the linear effect, you can see that's the right side facing up. Okay, so the first notch needs to go there like so.
Yeah.
Now, what's going to be difficult about this, I wouldn't pin on this. It actually makes it easier not to.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch in from the wrong side, and I'm going to pivot as I go around. It makes it a lot easier. You ready?
If you say so.
If you say so.
Can you, before you do it, can
Yep.
you just tell us on the flat?
Tell us on the flat, okay.
What you're physically sewing.
Okay, so you've got the right sides together. So at the moment I've got the wrong sides facing up
Yes,
at me,
yeah.
okay? And I've got my placket underneath,
Yeah.
okay? So what's going to happen is I'm going to stitch down
Yes.
to my first notch.
Yeah.
So if I just open that out.
Oh, I see.
And then hold the needle into the fabric.
Yes.
And then I'm going to pivot and stitch
right,
there.
yeah.
And then I'm going to pivot and then stitch again and then
Perfect.
pivot and stitch again. I find that by not pinning, you can manipulate and move as you go around. Otherwise, the alternative method is actually don't pin and actually physically tack it in. Like just go ahead and tack
Yes,
it in with
yeah.
a needle and thread. But for speed, I'm going to do it without doing that,
Yes.
just because it's quicker.
Because you can.
Well, not because I can. I'm probably going to make a right mess of it. But I think this is the integral, this is the bit. This
Yes.
is what you really do need to take your time. So at home, I would say go ahead and tack it in and do it by hand rather than machine. So it's 1.5 going all the way down to that first notch. So I'm just bringing that in line. So when you get to your stay stitching, because I can see it, just go shy to the left,
Yes.
all right? So it's only going to be microscopic.
But literally, you're stitching right next to it.
Right
aren't you?
next
Yeah.
to it, because we don't want to see that stay stitching. Okay, so I am in the point now. Okay, so
Right.
the needle is down.
Right.
So now when I lift this up,
Right.
so in the front here, so there's the point of reference there.
Yeah.
And then obviously I know where my point of reference is here because I've made that big cut into the fabric.
Yeah.
So that goes there. So then when I pivot that around, just make sure that there's no creases in this section, okay? Just that needs to be clean.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stitch to that point. Get the timing there, that's
Yeah.
it. And again, repeat the process. So I'm lifting up, I'm pivoting, I'm finding my placket, I'm moving my garment out of the way, finding that cut piece, which is here, finding my point of reference. So there it is on my white placket there.
Yeah.
And I know where it is there because I've got the cut. Placing that on there like so. And timing in the machine.
Yep.
That's it. And then I'm on the home straight now. So again, twisting the placket around. So there's the placket there, can you see?
Yeah.
And I'm bringing in my garment now, lining it up with the notches on the side. And again, just making sure that I'm stitching just to the left of that stay stitching. Now, hopefully, if I've not rushed, there shouldn't be any puckers in there now, which is good.
But the trick is take your time,
Take
isn't
your
it? Take
time.
and make sure that you've marked your notches or your points of reference properly. That's the most important thing.
So there we have. So even though that was pretty rushed, with a press.
Oh yes,
there's
with the press down, press
there's
down,
no
yes.
there's no puckers in that area. There you
Yeah.
go. I'll wait for you to come down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give it a good steam press, and what looks like that's not a pucker. It's just the way where the
So if I get the mat out,
Yep.
that might help. So by making that cut, the stay stitch and the cut, that's giving you that pivot that you need to create that really sharp V.
Yeah. You got any steam coming out? Oh no, that's squirty water. There you go.
Okay. So that's giving you that really nice,
Ooh.
oh hello, I'm all attached. Really nice clean V, which is what you want in the front of your garment. Okay, so once you've got that, then we're moving on to the second piece, because at the moment, if I just turn that the other way, you've got all the raw edges, haven't you?
Yes.
Whereas
And also you've got no neckline.
you've got no neckline. So you want a nice clean finish on the inside of your garment there.
Coming into you. There you go.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So we need to create that with the second piece. Okay, so the tip with this one is before you even get to constructing it, I would go ahead and do some more stay stitching, but you can take this out after, because all I'm going to be doing is creating a line for me to get that nice clean press. Otherwise, you're going to have to eyeball it.
Yes.
So I'm going to stitch down a 1 centimetre seam allowance around the whole V, leaving that bit open.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm using my machine to do that. So if you wanted to extend your stitch length, so you can take this out after, go ahead and do that. But for speed, I'm just going to use the normal.
Yeah. So this is inside the seam allowance.
So this is inside the seam allowance. So what that will do is give you a little bit extra on the underside. So when you come to do your stitching, when you're stitching it all together, you know that you are going to catch the underside seam allowance.
Yeah. Over half the size of the 16 to 26 pattern has sold out. Half the stock, I'm turning into Hannah, half the stock just thrown in any words. Thrown in any words of our fancy.
Okay, so if I get the iron again, John, please.
Oh, iron, yes.
This is where your prim fingers will probably be good, actually. So what I've done with that stitching, what that allows me to do then is to fold back along that line of stitching, and I know that I'm going to get the perfect 1 centimetre press. That's the only reason why I'm doing that. So do this ahead of time.
Yeah.
And watch your fingers, obviously.
Yeah, so what you could use here are the silicone iron fingers that Jennifer loves so much, and also, the very first time we ever saw you, you brought in a bit of cardboard with your 1 centimetre, 2 centimetres.
I did, yeah.
Well, now we sell the ironable rulers like that. And I was doing them the other day, and I said, I'm sure Jennifer's got a bit of cardboard that she uses this. You could use,
I do.
because you could use that, because there's a centimetre on that.
No,
It's sold out at the moment, but we will get it back in again.
When there's a will, there's a way, isn't there, John? That's the thing. When there's a will, there is a way. Okay.
Christine says, hello, John and Jennifer, enjoying the show whilst resting my knee. Crafty Chris in Durham. She's done her knee in, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
Okay, so I've already gone ahead and pressed my seam allowances under by doing that quick stay stitch, and then I folded back that 1 centimetre seam allowance.
Okay.
Okay, so these points of reference you mentioned earlier, this is where we're going to start creating the V. That's actually
The actual V.
Yeah, which obviously exposes the chest.
Yes.
So depending on where you want that and how deep you want it.
Exposing
Well,
your
the
chest to me, Jennifer.
Chest area. So obviously, if you're going to be wearing this, John, you'd want a big medallion.
Oh yes,
covering all that.
But it is for
It's
some
quite a deep
people.
V, yeah.
That is quite a deep V there. Because if you, I was going to put my hand on her bosom then, but there's her bosom there, right? So some people might want it just to come to that. So that's the point of reference on your pattern.
On my pattern.
But some people might just want it an inch and a half higher than that, wouldn't they?
Exactly. So what you could do is place this against the body,
Yes.
and then get a feel for where you would want it to
Yes,
finish if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But all you would need to do is move that tailor tack there up. That's all you need to do. So this tailor tack here, all you need to do is move it up.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's not going to make any difference to the fit of the garment or anything like that. Or
It's
getting it over your
it's
head
all
or
about
anything.
that section. That's the look. Whereas how deep your V is entirely up to you. So I'm going to place. I'm happy with the V, so I'm going to go for it. So you've got two little tailored notches there, 2 notches in the top there, and the same in the top here. So they need to go together.
Right.
And then obviously my tailor tack, which is in this case it's the water erasable here, and my little tailor tack there. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to stitch down to that point of reference and then back up. So if that's perfect, John, well done. So yeah, you're going all the way down and all the way back as per the pattern, the tissue paper. But if you want to move that and make it a little bit less of a deep V, just bring that tailor tack up.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now.
Perfect. Now, while you're saying that, we've got an email that's come in. From who, sorry? Maureen.
Hey, Maureen.
She's asking about seam allowances. Right, she said, can you tell me why dressmaking seam allowances are 5/8 of an inch? It seems quite wasteful when you cut them back afterwards, because she's a quilter and she's used to 1/4 inch.
Ah, right, okay. Well, it's a fit thing, isn't it, as well? So obviously you can then do some fitting, but also you'll want to finish those seams off, whereas obviously with your quilting, generally they're enclosed seams, so you don't really need to do anything with them. So it's just to allow you access to do that.
When I first started training, Maureen, it was because when you were making for an actor or an actress, you didn't ever have their proper full-on measurements, and you've drawn a pattern to their body, and they turn up, and you're going, you think you're, because when you're a pattern maker, you don't usually make to a size 10, 12, 14. You make to an actual person's body shape and size, because different lengths of backs, all sorts of different measurements across here and everything. So you have your 5/8 seam allowance, because that gives you a ½ an inch on each seam to play with, or an inch, and a ½ an inch on each seam to play with. So you could expand. If you had 8 seams, that's 4 inches
Yeah,
you
that's
play
good,
with.
4 inches.
Then you could trim it off afterwards. You know that it fits. But also in theatre, or in theatre mainly, you could have, you could be the starring lady one day, and then one day you're poorly, and they go, "Oh, Hannah, you've got to go on. Blimey, we need an extra 6 inches, split, open, split, and just redo the seam." It's just little things like that.
Well, on trousers, generally speaking, the seam allowance will be about 2 centimetres
at the back, definitely,
to definitely allow for that.
Oh,
so.
now, I had a message yesterday. When you do talk about your next lot of shows, somebody wants you to do a trouser show.
Oh, okay, sure.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Just a classic.
Can we do culottes?
Well, I don't know, but a classic pair of trousers, they said.
Okay,
but culottes will be the same sort of... Anyway, that's just for the future.
Okay. So I've done my stitching.
Yes.
So what I'm doing now is I'm going in with the scissors.
So you're just cutting between those two stitches.
So again, when you get to this point, make sure that you don't cut the stitches. All right.
Yeah.
So what that happens now is that you're going to basically post what is the back part of the facing into the inside of the garment now.
Right. Oh. So you're creating the kind of binding for the neck, aren't you, around there?
So I bring
sorry,
that in.
you're
No, it's
down,
okay.
yeah.
So what you're going to want to do now is all of these seam allowances you're going to want to press in. Now
you're inside the blouse
I'm inside.
now.
I'm in the wrong side now. Okay, so you want to press these in. So I like to do this before I trim back first, because you just got a bit more to hold on to. And again, just watch your fingers.
If little Paul was producing now, there'd be all sorts of expletives coming down that earpiece.
Why?
A little bit more extra to hold on to. Because you know what he's like. He's like a schoolboy.
He's like a schoolboy. Okay, so that's that bit there.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to just quickly trim that back, just so it makes me easier for me to get the other piece on. So because this is a enclosed seam, you can go quite close to the stitches, or it will be an enclosed seam.
Yeah.
When we're finished with it. Thank you. So, we were talking about you coming to move into the she shed. Not only can you make me a cup of tea, but you're doing a great job of tidying up, John.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it on the floor.
Okay. So, this is where it gets exciting. So, we're going to be tucking in our pressed under seam allowance.
So what you've done is you've pushed it, you've pressed in the bit that's going underneath before you've got, because normally you'd do it and then you'd press your hem in, wouldn't you? Whereas yours is already there, so you've got your line of where you're going to stitch
where I'm going to go. It just makes it easy. Otherwise, trying to do this when it's attached, getting that pressed, it's just, you can see that it's all fighting at the moment because I've not pressed it into place. It just makes that step a little bit easier.
Yeah.
So basically what you're going to do is you're going to go around the whole thing, and then what you could do is you could hand stitch that down and leave it, and then that's the neckline done. Or if I just tip that the other way, this is where we've got our lovely detailed ribbon today. Is it the grosgrain we've got?
Yeah, grosgrain ribbon.
So what you could do is you could lace that around.
You have to do like a little mitre corner.
And mitre corner it all the way around. But you could, or you could Sashiko it.
At that point, you do it at this point.
Oh, so you would do it at that point. Do that at that point before then adding on your circular neckband, which is this section on the blouse there. So if you are going to add any detail in this, like for instance ribbon or beads or anything like that, and it's going to go into that seam allowance here, into that seam line here, I'd answer the neckline.
Okay, so if you're going to use one of those borders on the Sashiko template, now is the time to do it while it's on the flat like this?
I would say do it now because there's quite a lot of seams going on. So the last thing I want you to do is these beautiful embroidery details with your Sashiko or whatever, and then you're losing half it because you've actually stitched into a seam allowance. So if you want to do it beforehand, what I would do is, you know, when I stitched around like I did the back piece.
Yes.
With the 1 centimetre. For the front, I would stitch in the 1.5 seam allowance with a long thread, so that way you clearly see what you're going to see.
Yeah.
Then do your stitching, and then take the thread out,
okay,
and then that way you know exactly you're not going to go over it.
Right.
Or you do it now and then leave the back open. So then if you have got any knots, they're hiding in between the two layers.
There, okay.
All right. So that's the placket done on the front.
If you want to go on and talk while we talk about Sashiko, we've got a little bundle today. 3 templates plus the variegated thread there. $13.99. They're flying out. You need to know they're absolutely flying out. Okay.
So that's the front one. Now, the one on the arm isn't the same, which is why I wanted to cover both.
Yes,
because
that's fine.
even though they look the same, they're
not the
constructed
same.
in completely
Okay, let's
different
get on
ways. So that's that bit done.
Yes.
Let's move that out of the way and I'll move
Oh,
that
we have a
out of the way.
photograph from Christine. Ooh. She's used Sashiko on a jacket.
Oh, let's have a look. Ooh, nice.
Oh, that's nice.
It's like bamboo coming out of water.
Yeah, work in progress. That's nice. That's a bit like, because there's no hole there, is it? She's just used it to decorate like you have with yours.
That's beautiful.
Nice.
Thank you
Christine,
for sharing.
did you say did that one? Lovely, Christine. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Right, let's get on with the sleeve because there's not that much time.
Not much time. Even if I walk it through and not,
yes,
I think that would be good. Right. Okay. So the sleeve is a little bit more complicated.
Oh no.
So it's actually a 2-piece sleeve, not a 1.
Right.
All right.
So you've got a seam coming from the sleeve head down the outside of the sleeve.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that. There's a seam there, as well as your normal seam, your underarm seam there.
seam.
So there's a seam there and there's a seam underneath. Can you see it? Running down there.
That's
there you
it.
go. Okay.
Okay. So, again, similar to the front, there's lots of notches that you need to be putting across. So obviously you've got your normal triangle ones, which is all about your construction. So this is the back of the sleeve, that's the front of the sleeve.
Yeah.
These need to match together when you bring them together.
Yeah.
Whereas to create your placket, it's actually this part here, that's different. So if you're doing a normal sleeve, you wouldn't normally see these.
Yeah.
This is new to the pattern because
Right.
you're creating that placket, all right? So I'm going to peel these back. You can see that I've already gone ahead and done my 2 tailor's tacks there, so that's that bit done. So the first thing we're going to do is stitch in to make it into one sleeve, but you can see that we're going to leave a gap. All right, so I'm just going to do a quick.
While you sew that, Tina's messaging saying, being cheeky now, if we're doing a request for future shows, how about some fitted capri-style trousers, please?
Ooh.
Well, I've written it down on my piece of paper, Tina.
He has literally written it down.
I've written it down here, look.
I can confirm.
Scruffy writing, but it's written down there.
Right then, so I'm going all the way down with 1.5.
Right. The sleeve's not lined, is it? So how would you finish that seam off?
So you could, if we had the machine we had on Saturday, you could use your overcasting foot. You could, you could do a zigzag on that. You can overlock it if you wanted to.
So you literally, literally the seam's just going to be finished down to where you're going.
Yeah.
This is the 680 we've got here.
680 here. So it's that dot there. So there is a little notch here.
Oh.
But that's not the notch that we were referring to.
Right. Oh, that's
Up a bit. There we go. That's the one.
So we're going to a dot there.
So that's the tailor's tack.
Yeah.
That's the one that you've stitched to, not that one.
Okay.
That's something else.
And also remember, because the back of the sleeve and the front of the sleeve is a different shape, don't match this side. You have to match the straight line going down, because obviously the back and the front of your sleeve here are different shapes.
Yeah, different shapes.
Okay.
Right.
So
if I open that up now, you can see that we've started to create a vent in the bottom of our sleeve. Okay, so that's the trick that we're looking for.
Okay.
What I'm going to do very quickly is just press that seam open, if that's okay.
Yeah, there you go. It's all yours.
So with this one, it really is about having your iron next to you, having it nice and hot. And obviously with it being 100% cotton as well, you haven't got to worry about.
No. Kate says, I've gone for the navy as the main. Ooh. Any suggestions for a patterned contrast, please? Loving the shows today. Oh, there's so many. So you've gone for this navy on here. Oh, it's just the navy on the one that we've made. I would, a patterned one. Oh,
well, I think because we've got our lovely Sashiko bundles at the moment, you've got that Sashiko patterned fabric, haven't you?
Oh, yes, that's slightly heavier, but yes, that'd be nice.
Would look quite
Art
nice.
gallery. What the best thing to do, Kate, is go to the website, go onto Pattern Fabrics and have a look at the different fabrics in there and see what you like. And then you can always email me or message me and say, would this work, would that work? And I'll look at them together for you. Because you've got so many patterns. You see something like this, I mean, I know we don't sell this, but even a bold pattern like that would be
because
quite
it's
nice,
only on these little, is it these bits she's referring to?
Yes.
Because you could really get away with some really quite bold, vibrant prints.
Exactly.
So don't be afraid to get experimental with that because the main body of your tunic.
Yeah, well, that's the fabric she shows us, her main body, see that navy one.
No, that'll look lovely.
Yeah.
I think go bold. Go bold.
There's the email address, studio@saintcourts.com. Send me an email, Kate, if you want. If you have a look at the website, have a look at them, and I can also put them together and have a look if they work for you.
Okay, so what I've done while we've been talking about fabrics is just done what would be the normal underarm seam. Okay, so now effectively we do have a normal sleeve that you've probably been used to seeing. The only difference is we've got that little vent at the bottom.
Yes.
So that's the seam that I've just done there, okay? So the next thing now is to create, talking about borders, we need to attach this part to the sleeve before we even start working the placket, okay? So this is this piece of fabric here. So again, I've already gone ahead and folded it and also folded the one side under with the pre-pressed seam allowance, okay? So I'm just going to attach these together. So there's a little notch there. So again, you know where you are because you've got a little notch on your sleeve, on your cuff as well. So that's that.
Jennifer and John are the A-team when it comes to dressmaking tutorials. They complement each other so well. Thank you both. From North Yorkshire, Claire. Oh, that's nice. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you.
So shut up and get on with it. Oh, you're so cheeky, John.
I'm going to give you a rat thick here in a minute.
Yeah. I think I've got 2 of those already, thanks.
Right, okay. So I'm going to stitch my cuff together now with my, again, same seam allowance goes 1.5. So when you're going across, what I would do is, if you are going to finish your seams, do it before you start sewing your cuff on. But I'm just going to make sure that I'm pressing it open as I go past it. Okay?
Right, okay, yeah.
I mean, even if you just wanted to do a quick pinking, that's good. That's
but in real life, you just press that seam open
yeah.
before you got to this stage here.
So this is where your sleeve board really comes into play. So you could have pressed that seam nice and flat. Okay. So I'm just doing the other side. Oh, that was Lucy then. I was going to say, how long have I got?
I thought it was Lucy coming through the curtain as well. I was like, oh my goodness. Well, not Lucy,
Oh,
Chris.
it's just Chris. Oh, sorry, Chris.
Not just Chris, I didn't say that.
No, I did.
Oh, you see, it's like a Neanderthal ant this morning. How many minutes for Jennifer? 10 minutes left for Jennifer.
10 minutes. Okay, brilliant. Right then. Okay, so we have our cuff on. So if I can get the sleeve board this
You've got the sleeve board.
Wonderful. So this is where...
Mo, sleeve board. Mo gets very excited when we get the sleeve board.
I do love a good sleeve board. Okay, so what this enables you to do is just concentrate on the seam without affecting the underside. So it really is quite invaluable. And also if you've just got small pieces that you want to iron, so I need the iron.
Oh yes, the iron might help, mightn't it?
They go really well together, the iron and the sleeve.
All right.
So I'm just pressing the seam allowance into what would be the cuff, which is the white section there.
Yeah.
So again, this is where you could really just press that underarm seam, which you wouldn't be able to do normally without creating a crease somewhere where you don't want it.
Exactly. The sleeve board's $16.99, but currently there are only 5 in stock. So if you want one, not adding any undue pressure, just come in and get it. Timothy upstairs thinks it's looking like a Laurence Llewellyn Bowen shirt at the moment.
Oh, which my husband loves. So, because I've already gone ahead and pressed that seam allowance under, what you can then do while you're on the sleeve board is actually pin ahead of time. So I'm literally just pushing that onto the stitch line that I've done.
Yeah.
Popping a few pins in. And again, what you can do while you're here is go ahead and press the bottom part of your cuff in as well, because you're using the stitch line to do that. But I'd already done that ahead of time.
Julie from Greater London says, loving the show today. And Sheila from Greater Manchester, just to say a huge thank you to Jennifer and John for a wonderful show. Oh, it's nice, isn't it?
Thank you.
Oh, and another message from Jennifer in Warwick coming through now, saying, if you wanted a shorter sleeve, could you take it off from the bottom, or would you take the excess out of the middle of the sleeve? She wants the finished sleeve elbow length.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, sure. So if I just bring one of those in there. So your option to lengthen and shorten, the same as it has on your dressmaking pattern with the bodice, you've got a lengthen and shorten line here.
Yes.
So yes, you can absolutely shift that up. So just bear in mind that this part is smaller than the bottom part.
Yes.
So when you do move it up, you'll have to do some grading.
Yes.
So just get your free hand or get your tails
And this
curved.
is why they don't say, if you chopped off at the bottom, your width of your sleeve would be much narrower and it wouldn't look as nice. Whereas that way, you're keeping the lovely width at the bottom of your sleeve, but higher up at the elbow. Right. Good question, Jennifer.
It was a perfect question. Okay, so as you can see, I've got a really nice clean finish on the outside. So again, you could just go ahead and carry on sewing this. But if you do want to add that detail again with your, where's my bit gone? Oh, there it is, right there.
Yeah.
You could do this in a wanna. You know, I like those ones. So that's the underside. You can see that that's not being stitched down yet.
Yeah.
Okay. But I pinned that into place.
Yeah.
And then what you could then do is add your grain on top.
Yeah.
And stitch it all down in one.
At the same time.
And if you've got your hot iron, you know, it will stay in place, basically. It's not going to move. So if you're going to add your ribbon, then again, do that now.
Yes.
And then we come to the placket later. So for speed, I'm just going to stitch that section there and that section there. I'm not going to worry about all of that.
Yes, okay.
I just want to concentrate on that
Because you're
placket
showing the
area.
placket bit, yeah.
So I'm going to take this off.
Oh, it's Mo, sleeve board Mo. Calm down, dear, it's only a sleeve board. Now, Mo.
Oh, I love a good sleeve board.
Oh, I know, but when we first had it in stock, I got very excited. Mo messaging going, John, it's a sleeve board.
I love that. Right. So I'm just doing a quick stitch there. That'll do on that side.
Yep.
And I'm just going to repeat that on the other side.
Yeah. Don't do this at home. This is just Jennifer fixing the two sides so that she can carry on with the placket because we're short of time. Oh, let's have a look at Deborah's poof. Oh, that's the one from Facebook. It didn't come through earlier.
Oh, I love that. That's lovely.
Oh, just showing it now. Oh, sorry, Deborah, it didn't come through earlier, but that's the one that was on Facebook. Everyone was going wild about last night. You can see why, can't you? It's lovely. Looks very, what beans have you got inside yours, Deborah? Anyway, we'll carry on the sleeve.
Okay. So this is what the sleeve looks like so far, where you've got that lovely white cuff going on. Obviously, forget that I've not stitched the whole thing.
Yes.
It's just to keep it in place on the edge. Oh, there you go. So we've got our opening there that at the moment looks very untidy and unkept, okay? So what you're going to need now is these two pattern pieces here. So they look like that.
Yes.
Okay.
It's very odd that you put the end of your sleeve is finished. And you're now doing a placket afterwards. That's odd, isn't it?
So you've got your two pieces there. You've got two notches to worry about. So you've got the one that I've done in pen with your water erasable, and then you've also got your inseam notches as well.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is right sides together. And what we're going to do is stitch from that point all the way down to that.
From which point, sorry?
From the top.
Yeah.
So it's where the angle is. So it's not the flat part there.
Yeah. From
the angle down to that red dot.
Point.
Okay, so that's the first bit. And again, it's a 1.5 seam allowance.
Yeah. 2.5 minutes.
Fine, we'll do it. Okay. Okay. So again, what I would do, similar to our front placket with our neckline, I would go in and do the seam allowance stitch and pre-press. I'd go ahead and pre-press. But again, to save time, I'm not going to do that. So, but that's my top tip for this. Get the stay stitching in and do your pressing ahead of time. Okay, so what we need to do is to take our sleeve. So let's go inside out. I think that'll be easier. So where we stitch to here, we're actually going to make a cut. Now that is scary, but you need to make sure you're cutting on the side where the stitches are. So you don't want to go past the stitches.
Yeah.
So we've got a pivot going on.
Okay.
So So there's the opening. You can see that I'm really, really close to it, but I'm about 1 or 2 stitches actually away from where I did that back stitch, okay? So, right sides together. Sorry, not right sides together at all. Let me get my head around this, hold on. How do we want to finish that? Okay, yep. Okay, so this is where it's wrong. So, this is the right side of the
blouse,
the sleeve. This is the right side of the placket. So it goes right side against wrong side.
Right.
Okay, that's where you got to get your head around it. So wrong side of the sleeve to the right side of the placket.
This is why it'd be good to do a pattern on your accentuating bits, because then you'll know.
Oh, you totally know. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is stitch down towards where that placket opens.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go. Oh, it doesn't like stitching with this needle up, does it?
No.
So it's 1.5 all the way down, and I'm literally stitching
right
up to where I've cut. This is where you need to know your timing of your machine. Done. Okay. So now so I've got one side attached already.
Yeah.
Whereas I need to attach the other side. So this is why you need that pivot.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, I'm going to flip that.
So you don't do this in one, you do it in the 2 different. Oh,
do it in
sits
2.
properly though.
So if I just move that out of the way.
Yeah.
So you can see I've got my cut. If I didn't have that cut, you wouldn't be able to do this.
No.
So I'm folding that back now. So again, I've got wrong sides. I know it's the wrong side because look, you can see that I hadn't finished my my cuff. Wrong side against the right side of the placket. Again, matching up your notches. And again, I'm going to stitch down that length. So you can see that this one is bigger than the sleeve.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that because that's a seam allowance.
Okay.
Okay.
And even though you've cut into, you still have to be delicate. Even though you have to manhandle it round, the pivot, please still be delicate about the corner of the pivot, because you can, if you pull it too hard, you can break that stitch, and that's what you don't want.
That's what you don't want. Okay. So we've got a placket currently all squished on the wrong side of the sleeve, but we need to get it onto the right side. So I'm actually going to turn my sleeve the right way. I'm going to get my sleeve board out.
We've only got a minute.
That's fine, we're nearly there. So, you can see you've got all the raw edges now. This is the right side of the sleeve.
Yeah.
All the raw edges are facing up. But when I turn my placket over, can you see that we're now starting to create that lovely shape?
Yes, and that edge there is the edge that you've pre-folded over, isn't it, from earlier? Is this edge the pre-folded?
So this is, this is the right side. Yeah. So the pre-folded side that I was going to stitch down is on the wrong side, exactly. Okay? So if I just get that over like that. So this is where you want to match up that seam with the seam on your blouse sleeve. That iron's gone to sleep, I think.
Shouldn't have gone to.
There you go.
Fab.
There you go. So there we've got a really nice clean placket going on now with the opening.
Yeah.
Okay, so bearing in mind these are all raw edges, those would have been folded under ahead of time.
Yes,
and then all you need to do now is worry about this little bit of seam allowance, which would basically flip under. And go like that.
And you end up with that?
Yep. So I would hand stitch that down.
Okay.
Top stitch that bit, but then I would actually hand stitch that one there.
Fantastic. Sorry to rush you there at
no,
the
it's
end.
good. I'm glad you understood.
Yes, the sleeve board is folded downable. So somebody just asked if it was collapsible. Jenniffer, you back in there with the chicken cushion. See you then. See you then. See you then. Oh, there's lots of things in the way there. Right. Okay. Well, 3 minutes to tell you everything. Patterns first. It comes in the 2 different sizes. It comes in the 4 to 14, which is at the bottom of your screen. Oh, there, bottom of your screen there. And then you've got the 6 to 26. There are less than 20 of the 16 to 26, just so you know. Fabricos. very quickly. I have got linen texture in navy, which is what the main one that Jennifer's made over there was made out of. That's linen texture in navy. There's no linen in it, it's 100% cotton, Macawa cotton. Machine washable, $4.99. Then I also have that in the steely grey. Oh, they look nice together actually, don't they? Steel grey, that one is. I'll move the blue one. Steel grey there. Sorry. $4.99. Okay. I then also have a linear print, which are these two. I've got that in 3 colours, indigo, heron, and vanilla. So this is the indigo one, which is one that Jennifer used as her trim on her blouse. $4.99. I've also got it in heron, and I've got it in vanilla. They're listed below. Same price, and then I've got the optical white. But I want to move on to the Sashiko bundle, of which you get 3. This is brand new today, these templates. 3 sheets of templates for, very good for borders, hems. Oh, less than 20 of these bundles left. Oops. And then you've got the lovely variegated threads, 6 variegated threads. Okay, now if you just want the threads on their own, got the threads on their own? Variegated, you get purple, blue, yellow, green, pink, and orange. That's for the threads on their own, £11.49. Now remember, Lucy's back after the break with her Wonky Star quilt. Here it is. Look, very, very easy, she says. Very good for a beginner, very good to start off with quilting. It's improv, which Hannah loves, because if you make a mistake, nobody knows. So it really doesn't matter. Story of her life. Mistakes every day, but we all know about it. That's the difference. Anyway, get yourself a cup of tea quickly, because that's fantastic to watch. So we've got the quilt coming up in 3 minutes from now.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for The Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more.
Hi, I'm Tilly Rose, and here are my 3 top tips. The first would be to actually be in the moment. Allow yourself to be surrounded by all those lovely fabrics and cloth and thread, and just take time out. Enjoy your stitching, whether that's machine embroidery or free motion or slow stitching. Just allow yourself to connect with the thread and cloth, and you'll enjoy the projects much more. So my second tip would be to allow yourself to go wrong. Give yourself permission to make mistakes, because we all learn from our mistakes. I've been sewing for a very, very long time, and I still make loads and loads of mistakes. But that's okay, because you can use those small little pieces in other projects later on down the line. But it's good, it's okay. So my third tip would be quite simply, break all the rules. If you want to experiment with different threads or different fabric, you might have read in a pattern or something that maybe you shouldn't do that. I would say, yeah, break the rules. And that's how you learn to allow your creativity to come through in your designs.
Join us from Friday the 9th to Sunday the 11th of March as we have a Mother's Day bonanza. This exciting weekend is jam-packed full of unmissable shows with some fabulous guests. Angie Atwood will be demonstrating with Westerly's brand new rulers, just perfect to add to your collection. We'll be taking a look through Joe Carter's fabulous toy box, and we'll have our first ever visit from Claire Louise Hardy from the Great British Sewing Bee and author of the Great British Sewing Bee Fashion with Fabric. So tune in throughout the weekend as we spoil every mother out there with a range of fantastic makes. Friday the 9th to Sunday the 11th of March, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Simply Sewing is a magazine for dressmakers and home sewists who are passionate about fabrics and love to sew with stylish patterns. each issue is packed with technical know-how, templates and easy to follow instructions to sew yourself quick wardrobe updates, accessories, plushy toys, gifts, bags and more. Plus, each issue comes with a free dress pattern from our expanding trend-led collection. We're proudly flying the flag for contemporary sewing with stylish patterns and beautiful photography to inspire sewists across the globe at every level. Follow us on Twitter for more inspiration, top tips, news, and share your own creations with us. Join Sewing Quarter at the Sewing for Pleasure show this March. From Thursday the 15th to Sunday the 18th, the NEC in Birmingham is transformed into fabric heaven, where you can enjoy sewing, quilting, patchwork, and dressmaking with the experts. Find the Sewing Quarter team on stand H06. And with the chance to meet our guest designers as well as presenters Natasha and me, John, we'll have live demonstrations for you to enjoy, plus special show prices on exciting product. Snap up your tickets and bring a friend for free with our 2-for-1 ticket code exclusive to Sewing Quarter. Quote the code EV26 at www.sewingshow.co.uk and you can get 2-for-1 prices on adults and seniors for 1, 2 and 3 day tickets.
Make sure you buy your tickets for the Sewing for Pleasure. It's great fun. It's very busy. It gets very, very busy. I'll be there on the Thursday and the Friday. Natasha's there on the Saturday and Sunday. So we'll see you there. And Lorraine's made a badge, so you all know she's crazy, Lorraine. I know. Right. Oh, this is lovely. Improv quilt. Improv quilt. Now, it's called improv because it doesn't matter if you make a mistake. That's what... Oh. Can you hear all the office all having a lovely time? Have a look at the finished quilt. Have a look at the finished quilt. It's lovely. Look. Hanging on wall. Now, they're all different. Can you see they're all different? Because there's no real block, is there? It's a star that's different on every one. Improv, it's called. So I've got 3 bundles. It is cold in here, isn't it? We turned the heating off because Lucy said she was too hot earlier. She's just coming and going, ooh, it's freezing in it. So I've got 3 bundles. I've got this one here, which is the one that Lucy's already used. So it's the Tula Pink Bumblebee, 1/2 metre. You've got the bright orange, 1/2 metre. You've got the lovely pom-pom in orange, 1/2 metre. You've got the, I love this fabric, the red and pink stripe, 1/2 metre. So that's 1, 2. Then you get 1.5 metres of the optical white, 1.5 metres of the, I'd say it was port, might not be. But anyway, it doesn't matter because you get it anyway. You get it anyway. And you get the instructions, £50 and 99 pence. £50 and 99 pence, that one. Now, I will talk to Lucy, but there's enough, I think, for the blocks and the binding. Is that it? That's it. Oh, and the back, and the back. I thought it was, and she was just like, nodding her head like that, and the back. Right, the one Lucy's going to be demonstrating with is this one, which is lovely. I don't know if I've seen this Dashwood fabric before. Hannah, oh, Hannah's not there, is she? I'm not sure. I don't think rabbits just jumped off the camera and landed on the floor. That's floral bloom. So you get 1/2 metre of that, and then you get who's had it? Oh, there you go, there's Hannah's back. Natasha's had that one. I haven't seen that one before. It's lovely, I love that. So then with that, you also get 1/2 metre of the aqua, 1/2 metre of the fuchsia, 1/2 metre of the ochre. We haven't seen ochre for ages, have we? 1.5 metres of the antique white and 1.5 metres of the navy blue. And the instructions, £40 and 99 pence. Now, if you like more to be more subtle, if you like yours to be more genteel and spring-like, day-like gorgeousness, these are Erin's fabrics, aren't they, these? Erin McMorris. There was a film about her with Julia Roberts in. Brockovich, she was. Erin Brockovich, wasn't it? Anyway, beautiful, isn't it? Starburst, so you get the Starburst at 1/2 metre. 1/2 metre of this, which is called Stepping Stones. 1/2 metre of the green spot, 1/2 metre of the dark aqua, 1.5 metres of the optical white, and 1.5 metres of the, I want to say flamingo, but it's not flamingo, is it? Magenta. And the instructions. Right, let's go and make it then. So. Right, so remember, like we said, it's for the front, the binding,
Everything.
and the back. No, not the batting. Not the batting.
Yeah,
I've got the
not
batting
that.
separately.
Yeah.
So,
Everything except that.
is it just a star that's gone wrong?
No, it's not.
Because is
Star
it
that's
a
gone
Lucy Brennan
wrong.
original?
No,
Learn
it's
how
a-
to create Lucy Brennan's Wonky Star block with easy to follow steps and room to make mistakes.
Yeah, I didn't create, it's just a quilt block that you
Okay.
can make. There are different ways of doing it, and you know, different measurements for different size blocks and things like that. So this is an unfinished 12.5-inch block.
Oh, okay. So finish 12.
Finished 12.
And is it easy?
Yes, it's really easy. It's really easy. It's really fun. You can't really go, well, I mean, you could go wrong, but it's, you know,
Well,
it's
you get
just
the points
fun.
going inwards, couldn't you, if you did it wrong?
Yeah, you could piece it together wrong, but
Okay, so on the instructions, does it tell you what to do?
yes, so it's got, the instructions are just for the block.
Right.
So you just make,
As many of those
yes,
as you want.
well, that's as many as you can make with the background fabric
12,
that's in
so
the
you can
kit.
make 12 blocks.
Yes.
So that's 36 by 48 inches finished.
Yes.
Even I can work that out. She's going, yeah, because it's 3 across,
36 by 48.
4 down. But
Yes.
then you could make it long and thin if you wanted it on a bed. Oh,
You could
do
make
know
a
what
runner
this-
with it.
A runner at the end of the bed. You know, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Lovely.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So we're making one 12-inch finished block in the show today.
Yes.
And it says here, cutting out background fabric, cut 8 squares, all of 4.5 inches, and cut the centre fabric 1 square at 4.5 inches, and the star points 4 squares at 5.5 inches. So it's
Yes.
quite simple cutting out then.
Very, very simple cutting out.
Okay.
Yeah. So I haven't seen this print before.
It's
I think
nice, isn't it?
lovely.
Dashwood, yeah.
It's really nice. Little hexagons in there as well, hexagon flowers. I really like this one. So this one I'm going to have as the centre of the stars.
Okay.
Okay.
On all of them.
On all of them.
Oh, like you have done the bumblebee because you fussy cut
Yes,
the bumblebee.
so I fussy cut the bumblebee. You have got enough fabric in the kit to fussy cut the bees.
So when you've made that kit, is there any fabric left? When the kit, I don't know what I'm talking about. When I've made that quilt, is there any
Yes.
fabric left?
You might have a tiny bit of some of the prints.
But
Yeah.
nothing of any
No.
quantity. Okay.
No, not a great lot.
Right.
So I'm just cutting out the centre square. So I'm going to do that at 4.5. I'm going to turn my rule around because it makes it easier.
So now, if you were making this at home,
Yes.
would you cut? Because obviously we're only making one. excuse me, one block today.
Yeah.
Would you cut all of the squares out before you even everything out?
Yes,
before
just
you start?
cut it all out.
Yeah.
Yes, that's absolutely fine. I mean, you may want to, yeah, I would cut everything out, but you may want to cut a few more extra squares for the points because you might want to play around with them. So in this quilt,
right, of course.
some of them I've used all the same, and then, you know, some of them I've mixed them up.
Okay. Now,
But you could keep them all the same, it's up to you.
We love Rachel the ruler. Do you need one of her fancy rulers to make this?
Yes.
No, I meant as in one of her fancy ones.
Oh, no fancy ones.
You need
no,
her
just one of
rulers.
these.
Yes, I knew
I
that.
think this is quite fancy though.
All right, you see, now I call that my beginner ruler.
Yeah, this is the beginner ruler.
I meant as in, you know, when we do the
Yeah, no, you
diamond
don't need a
wedding ring and
special
all
one,
that
no,
sort of
because everything, we're only cutting squares and then sub-cutting to get triangles. So, no,
right.
just straightforward ruler.
So we've got this. You'll find this one on the web. This is the 6.5 by 24.5 inch one, and we've also got a 6-inch square one coming up in a minute.
Yes.
Rachel the ruler.
And having the smaller squares really useful when it comes time to trimming.
Okay.
You can do it with this one, but it's
Easier to
easier
do
with that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
brilliant. So let's start.
Okay.
So the graphics that are in are the one that Lucy's using. The floral bloom is the one Lucy's using, and the one at the bottom is the one that Lucy's already made. The one that's in the background there. Okay.
Yes.
So you just cut a strip of fabric.
So I've just cut a strip. Now, when I was fussy cutting the bees, I lined up the bees within that so when I was cutting a strip. But when you're cutting a strip of the bees, because of how fabric is printed, I wouldn't cut it folded over because you could lose some of your bees. So I would do it the full width, just move your ruler and cut the full
But on this,
width.
you're not fussy cutting this one then?
Yes, I am.
But not to the extent of the bee.
Not to the
You're going to make
extent.
every
Maybe I
single
won't
centre the
fussy
same.
cut it. Maybe I'll just...
Well, no, because if you fussy cutted this, you'd have to find the same centre.
Yes, no, they would all be
flower in the
different.
middle.
Yeah, no, they would all be different. But actually, there's enough going on in this print, I think, that you could just cut it and it will be, you know, that's going to make a nice centre, isn't it? And then...
Goes with your top, that. I like your... Oh, look, it's To the Universe and Beyond.
Yes, Galaxy. Got some stars in there.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
I'm doing a John Scott and coordinating with the project. The theme.
Oh,
the theme.
that's not the same colour. Maybe you need to go to Little Paul's colour school. Right, let's get on.
Okay, so I'll use that one. I mean, you could fussy cut, you know, to make that central if you wanted to, because there are different motifs.
I quite like the fact
there.
it's just the same fabric in the middle and it doesn't matter which bit.
Yeah, I quite like that too.
Okay.
So that's going to be my central square. And then I've cut these 5.5.
So these are your points, your star points, the 5.5
So these are the
ones,
points.
yeah.
So you can mix it up and use different, you know, all different fabrics, or you could have them be all the same. It's up
On
to
each
you.
block, you mean, yeah?
On each block for the points. I'm going to mix the colours because...
So what have you done there? What have you got? What are you about to cut through now?
Okay, so these are 5.5-inch squares.
Yes.
And I'm just cutting them in the diagonal to make triangles.
Okay.
Okay. So I've stacked them up, so I've got different colours there, and that's going to give me a nice mix to
Oh, that looks
play
like
about
that
with.
takes me back to when I was little. You used to get little pads of paper, and all the papers, all the sheets of paper would be like there'd be 3 pinks, 4 yellows, 3 greens, and it used to excite me.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Go with me. Go with me.
Go with you. No, I know what you mean. So I'm going to do another pink one just so I've got
Have you not
a
done
bit
enough?
of a mix. I have done enough. You actually only need four squares for each block. Cut in half.
As you say, if you
so
want
you've got the
different,
8
slightly
points,
different.
but if you want them different, yeah.
But I'm shocked that you're cutting them all exactly the same because all the points are all different shapes and sizes, aren't they? But you still cut them all just in half diagonally.
Yes, just cut them all in half diagonally. Now you can do this starting out with smaller squares.
Yes.
Okay. So, but I like to go slightly oversized because it gives me more options in terms of angles. So you'll understand
Okay, so there's going to be a bit of wastage, but not much.
Yeah, there is going to be a bit. And so then the background squares I've cut at 4.5 inches.
Yeah.
And this is used as the base to create the points. So we're sewing the triangles onto the squares of fabric.
Okay, so now in the bundle, you get 1/2 metre of everything, but you get 1.5 of, in this one, you get 1.5 of white and 1.5 of the navy blue. You've saved the navy blue for the backing. You've not incorporated it into the pattern whatsoever.
No, it could be the background. We could swap them
Well,
over.
no, because we were having this discussion earlier, because producer Hannah, loves a quilt with a pale background, and I like a quilt with a darker background.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not per se, but on the whole, I like a quilt. So it's whatever. So you could do a navy blue background with these other colours on it if you wanted to.
If I get through it quickly, I could make one with the
Oh,
dark
go on then. I'll shut up. Is that a hint? I'll be over here if you need me.
I can try.
Go on then.
So we're going to make up the points. So this bit seems a little bit tricky, but when you get the hang of it, it's very easy.
All right.
Okay. So we're just going to be sewing the triangles on top of the squares, okay? So you just line up a triangle, and that is going to be our guide to sew our seam to create our 1/4 inch. So I'm putting it through the machine like that, and I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch so that I can fold it back, and that's going to create 1 point.
Okay. No, I'm with
Are
you.
you with
I'm with
me?
you. So you can bung it anywhere. You
So
can put
you
it
can put
anywhere.
it anywhere, so
On
long
any angle.
on any angle, so long as you want to be covering one corner. So when it folds back, you're just covering one corner. You don't want to sew it like that. It's not going to make a star.
But it's not
Are you with
covering any
me?
corners.
So we need to cover one corner when it's folded back.
Right.
So we could have it, we could position it like that, we could position it like that, we could position it like that.
Right.
You want to make sure that when it's folded back, you're going to see some of it, when you've got...
Yeah, so don't do
you see what I mean?
inch around
So
the
if I
edge.
did it like that, I'm not going to have very much of a point on my star. So I like to, you know, sort of have it up here.
Pointless.
So that when it's folded back, you're going to see that that point. You also, don't want to
I'm not.
sew it up past this other corner, you know, past these corners here.
Don't, did you say?
Don't, because when you fold it back, you haven't got that 4.5 inches, and also it's not going to create a point.
So basically, it's anywhere in this half
diagonal half of the square.
That triangle of the white square, anywhere, but on any angle you want.
On any angle, so you can.
Okay, as long as it covers one corner.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a nice one. Anyway.
Okay, now, when I've sewn this one, I'm going to sew another one in the same way, this way.
Right.
Okay, so it's folded back like that.
Right.
Now, I don't mind having the overlap of the points at the bottom where it connects to the square.
Right.
Okay, if you don't want that, then you need to angle it
within the first
that first. Exactly.
So just explain on there which one's overlapped and which one's not.
So
overlapped.
I'll show you on one way. It's really obvious. So you can see. So you can see this was my first triangle that I sewed onto the square.
Yeah.
This one here, and this was the second one.
Right.
So if I'd have moved this one over from the middle so that it was coming like this, then I wouldn't have the overlap.
Because I've sewn everything?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I've sewn it, because the triangle started over here, then when it's folded back, then I'm overlapping this one. You can go from the central point, and then your points will come out like that. And that would be a more traditional, not quite so wonky.
But you've also got this way. If you did it like that, you've got to get that point exactly right. Whereas this way, doesn't matter where that point is because it's...
But having said that, also, if it starts over here and one starts over here, you'll have a gap, which you could do. That's another thing that you could do. I like them overlapping.
You didn't do any of those,
I didn't. No. But you can.
Yes, we could make one of those if we've got time.
I could do. Yeah. So I'll sew it because it makes more sense as I'm sewing it. So
but no, you are cutting on the bias, aren't you, there?
This is bias, We're going to trim it back so you don't need to worry so much. That's why it's a nice one for...
Yes, because you've got excess.
It's a nice one for beginners. You've got excess. You really don't need to worry about it.
But it's also good for practicing with doing bias ones for when you come to do a bias on bias one later.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you'll get a feel, you'll get a feel for it. Yeah. So I'm taking this to the sewing machine and I've moved my needle over so that it's at the 1/4 inch
You've not got a 1/4 inch foot on, you've just got your normal foot
I've just got the normal foot on. You can use a 1/4 inch foot, but you're going over the fabric, so you just need to be careful, although we are trimming this away. But you just want to set this so that you've got a 1/4 inch seam here.
The reason you said that on the 1/4 inch foot, you've got like a little guide.
And on some you do, on some you don't, and some you do. On this one you do.
If you're going over another piece of fabric, sometimes if you're just doing two together at the same place, then you can match up the edges of your fabric with them. If you're going over another fabric, sometimes that other fabric just snags on it, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I'll sew this one and then you'll see what I mean. And I've just moved it over because I decided I want my point higher, and you can do that. It's okay with this if it moves, because there isn't that precision. And then I'm going to trim that away.
Okay, shall I put the iron on?
Oh, yes, please. And then I'm going to press this back. So I've just trimmed that extra off there and then press this back, and I'm pressing it to the dark side.
Okay.
I've just trimmed off that extra there.
Before you press it?
I haven't trimmed these edges.
Right, so you just trim the seam allowance down to 1/4 inch.
Yes, I've just trimmed the seam allowance.
But it means it's warm enough now. So it means your edges will be uneven, doesn't it? So don't panic if you put it together thinking it's not making a decent square or anything.
No, it doesn't need to be square at this point.
Okay.
So that's one way.
Yeah, right.
And then I'm going to sew, if I do it that way, it's easier. So that's one way.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to sew the other one on top of it. So again,
So
I
it's
can
always the
angle it.
bias edge that you're sewing, isn't it?
Yes.
That's a good way to remember that when you're placing it, you're always sewing the bias edge.
Yes. And then, so I can angle that to where I want it.
Okay.
And then again, using the edge of the fabric as a guide and sewing 1/4 inch seam. Now I don't, I just sew along the whole length, okay? You could try and start where that square's going to be, but because you've got bias edges and things can move around, I would rather have that whole seam sewn, and then when I come to square it up, I know that that seam's all the way sewn. If I try and judge where the edge of that square is, I might fold it back, trim it, and that seam not be sewn properly. So I go all the way along the edge there.
Okay.
Even though I know I'm going to cut some of it off.
All right.
You can do one.
Yeah.
Yay! Are you using different colours? Yeah.
Oh, no, it's your block. Which colours would you like me to use?
No, it's fine. That's
Sure.
what I want. Different colours. Yeah. Okay. So again, I'm just going to trim that back. So I always trim, after I've sewn, I always trim straight away so I know I'm not cutting off the wrong piece. And then I'm going to fold that back and press.
Okay, you do that then.
Okay.
Have I done it wrong?
No, that's okay. You haven't gone quite to the edge.
Oh.
But that's what I'm saying about
No,
it's-
okay, this is how not
yeah.
to do it. Make sure you go right to the edge. There, I haven't gone right to the edge of my ochre.
So it wouldn't be sewn to the square. It's what, it's,
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to go like this.
well, yeah, that's true. But you could have done it on that corner. You could have done it
No,
there.
I knew I wanted it
Okay,
on that.
all right.
Method in my madness.
Your excuse. Okay, so now I've sewn my two, so I've got my 2 points there.
Yeah.
And this block needs to be trimmed back to 4.5.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I borrow the rotary cutter, please?
Yes. So I like to line it up, so I'm using the original square as my guide for cutting the 4.5.
Right. Oh, there's the graphics for the 6.5 inch square creative grid ruler. Ooh. What are you laughing at, Lucy Brennan? I've done that's right, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Oh, I should have pressed that the other way around. Oh, sorry, am I holding you up?
No, it's fine.
Oh, yeah, where's my glasses?
Down.
Thank you.
I like this colour combination as well with the blue and the ochre and the pink.
I was going to say I've not used blue.
No, with those 3 colours, because they work really well with
I was
that.
going to get a compliment then.
They work well with that main print as well.
Yeah, I'm going right the way to the end.
Lovely.
Okay, have you squared yours off?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see you do it.
Use that.
I'm holding up all the proceedings now, aren't
It's
I?
all right. No, it's fine. It's either going to be me doing it or you doing it. Doesn't really matter. Oh. What was that noise for? What's wrong?
Nothing.
That's right.
Is
It's
it?
right, John.
Yeah, it is. It's right. It's right. That's how I meant it to be. Right, how do
Okay,
you
let's
square
go-
it off? Square yours off then.
Okay. No, this one's not ready.
Okay.
I'll square. Shall I do it?
Yes, go on then,
Yeah,
because
okay.
I don't know how to.
Okay. So you've sewn your 2 points.
Yes.
So I'm taking it back to 4.5,
Yeah.
using the original
'cause you know
square
that
as
the
a
white one's
guide.
4.5,
Yeah, you
yeah.
know that's 4.5. So then I can just trim
Okay.
this off. Now, another thing to say is if you didn't want to see the cut over bits, no, I'm just saying, if you didn't want to have the overlapping
Yes.
sections, you could start with bigger background squares and then you would trim it down and
so
put your
that-
1/4 of an inch
yes.
there
Got it.
so that you didn't have any overlap. But
Yeah.
you'd need to start with
With the
bigger
bigger
background
squares,
squares. So you'd need more background.
Yeah.
But I like the
overlap.
yeah. Oh, I've got my mat. Just turned
Okay,
it
just gonna
round.
twist it round. Oh,
There we go.
thank you. That was the rotating cutting mat you're putting in, yeah. Rotating cutting mat, 32.95. It's brilliant because it was just the way it works. 32.99.
Yeah, I used it to trim mine. I just forgot.
Forgot on
I had
mine.
it there when I was using yours. And it's what I use at home all the time for trimming because it just makes it so much easier.
What colour are you doing? Oh, I should do, no, because I'll hold Lucy up to I'll do another one. I'll do one when we do the navy blue one. I'll do a navy blue one.
Okay.
There's mine. Look how perfect those points are. Excuse me.
Apart from the thread, bit of thread that's in there. Now, I'm going to just say
Yeah, oh yes.
it's very easy
Two.
to put your triangle, once you've sewn one,
Yes.
because one, it's fairly straightforward. When you come to sew the second one, it's very easy to line it up like that because you're looking at it thinking, oh, those are the points.
Yes.
But then, of course, when you've sewn down it,
That's rubbish.
it's going to go the wrong way. So you just need to be mindful of the fact
Yes.
that you need to sew it
Yeah,
over
that's
the
why I
top.
went a little bit funny on mine.
So
yeah.
the extra bit is going over the top of what you're wanting
Yeah.
to sew. Okay.
So the next one has to be.
Now, there are a few ways that you can sort of organise yourself
Yeah.
as you're doing this. You can do a block at a time and work out what coloured points you want on each one. So the ones that I did, the one that's next to my head that's all orange,
Yes.
I knew I wanted them to be all orange. But the other ones, you can just make up these sections and then lay them out around your central block before you sew it together.
Yes, yeah.
So it's entirely up to you and your level of perfectionism, how you want to do it.
Also, if you lay all the blocks out like that, it could be that you end up with two almost identical. If you've done them all separately, so you've made one block, by the time you get to the 12th
Yes.
block, you might make one identical to your number one block, but it'd be quite nice before you sew them together to move all the, think, oh, that doesn't belong on one, that belongs on 6, and take the one from 6 and put
Yeah.
it on 12 and things.
Yeah, absolutely. So just press that one. So I'm always pressing towards the coloured fabric away from the white.
All right. Well, just see you square that one off again,
Okay.
and then I'll go and do bundles while you make your last
Okay.
one. Yeah, make sure you rotate them out this time.
Yes, I will. Sorry. Oh,
Oh,
there we go.
4.5.
4.5.
Okay. Right. I'm going to go and do bundles. You just make.
Okay.
I'll put the colours out for you there.
Right, thank you.
Right. Oh, I should have brought the batting with me as well. Sorry, I'll go and get the warm and white batting as well. Okay, which one first, Wayne? Floral one that Lucy's using. So in this one, the floral bloom, you get 1/2 metre of this gorgeous Dashwood fabric, which I've never seen before, 1/2 metre of the pale aqua, 1/2 metre of the fuchsia, 1/2 metre of the ochre, 1.5 metres of the antique white, and 1.5 metres of the navy blue. And the instructions, £40.99. There's the still of that bundle. The one that Lucy's already made, the bumblebee one. So we get 1/2 metre of bumblebee, 1/2 metre of orange, 1/2 metre of orange pom-pom. I think that's begonia. Is that one not begonia? I think that's called begonia. Is Hannah still upstairs? Is that begonia, Hannah? Anyway, don't worry. And then you've got the pink and red stripe one there. Then you get 1.5 metres of the optical white and 1.5 metres of the... It is. Do you know what? Out of all those fabrics, those Tula fabrics, how do I remember that was begonia? Yeah, Hannah bought spots and pom-poms, and then the lovely, the instructions, £50 and 99 pence. And then last but not least, this one's beautiful. No, it's not Erin Brockovich, it's Erin McMorris. Starburst. Stepping Stones. The Apple Spot On. The gorgeous Deep Aqua, and then you've got the white, the optical white, 1.5 meters, and the... There it is, 1.5 meters of the pink as well. £46 and 99 pence plus the instrucciones. Now, while I'm on this side, I'll just show you this as well. Warm and white, 45 by 60, and that's actually 36 by 48, so plenty big enough to do your quilt that's on the wall. This doesn't come in a bundle, but we sell this separately. Yeah, now remember, if you've bought warm and white from us before, you think, oh, that's not the one I've had. They've repackaged all their warm and white, £8 and 99 pence. Okay, back to Lucy, see how our block's getting on. Oh.
Well, I was just, while you were over there, going to try and quickly cut some squares, but now I'll just have to do it.
Okay.
So this is just for the alternative.
Yes.
We'll have time, so
yeah,
for the alternative background.
Yeah. An awful lot of background ones here.
Yeah.
But no, I will do, because I'm doing the navy blue one in a minute.
Just trimmed off the selvages from this. And then, and when you're cutting these out for the background squares, because you need 9 background squares for each block.
Yeah.
But you can, sorry, not 9, no. 8, excuse me, 8. So you can stack up, you know, if you're comfortable cutting.
You've only done in 2s this time.
I know, well, we don't need more than that,
No. But normally you cut 4s.
Yes. Oh, are you just going ahead?
You can carry on with yours.
Okay. So then you can just lay out your block and you can move them round so you're happy with them. You're happy with that, John? Do you want them?
That's your block, my dear.
Oh, right, okay.
I was just helping.
Well, you're telling me what colours to use. So then you just lay it out and it's literally just a 9-patch block. So you can move these about if you want them in a different position. And just play about until you're happy with the layout, and then sew those together into rows. So the really nice thing about this is you've got no seams to match up till you come to sew the rows together. And you don't need to worry about the fact that you're sewing over the point, because when you sew the seam, it creates a point.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So one thing you do want to look out for is, like I said at the beginning, if this is right up here, then when we come to sew it...
Say that again, if that's what...
If the seam for this is up here, then you're going to lose... You're not going to have such a neat point.
Yeah.
So. What are you doing now? You just have to think about it, don't you, which way you're going to, where your seam's going to be.
Hannah says if I need some help, she'll come and help me.
Yeah, let's get Hannah to come and do one.
Yeah.
Come and join the fun.
I'm more confused with the blue one.
Well, it's made you more confused?
Yes.
Why? Why are you confused?
I'm not.
Oh, right. I feel like I've got to rush even more now to get...
Why?
So you can sew yours.
Oh, that's fine. We should have got 2 machines there.
That's the best way of checking, is to fold it back, just like you did, to...
So I'll just show you. I laid it down like that, and then I folded it back like that, because then you're going to cut your 4.5-inch square there.
Yeah, because you don't want it up here either. You want it to be next to your other point. So your 2 points are next to each other. So the second triangle always has to cross over the first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody's messaging in saying, did you make a mistake with the binding, or did you run out of fabric?
I ran out.
Oh, did you?
I ran out.
So
yeah.
it wasn't enough for the port.
No, did I? No, I would have had just enough.
Right.
I think, but I was worried I would run out.
Right.
And I also like putting a bit of. I like doing that. That's
you've
me.
Done quilts with all different colours going around, haven't you?
I like using different colours in the.
So there is enough.
There is just enough,
careful.
but be careful. Exactly. Yeah, you could cut. You could do your strips 2 1/4, and then you'd be fine.
Yeah.
I did think about putting white, because you would have a little bit of white as well, so you could use some white and some colour for the binding if you wanted to.
Oh, I don't know if I'd put white in the binding.
No, well, I didn't.
Because it would look like it had bled across, wouldn't it?
Yes, but sometimes you don't want a frame around it. You know, you just want it to be like it's continuous. I just need to grab my pins. So I've sewn my rows, and then I'm just going to sew the rows together. You can press at this point. You want these seams pressed in towards the centre square, and these seams pressed out, and these pressed out, so that they're alternating, so that you can nest them together. But I tend to just pin it, and then I'll press it at the end.
Okay, Hannah's just went, oh no, John's on the sewing machine, right? Hannah, before I was your age, I had sewn a dress for Kiri Takanawa to wear at the Royal Opera House out of 1920s Fortuny silk.
So there.
So there.
So there.
I think they're getting a bit lippy upstairs.
So
no, don't need the rotator cutter yet, because I'm not doing squaring off. I'm just doing. Oh, I've done it wrong. Don't look at me like that.
Well, you were about to do it wrong.
No.
Yeah, that's half an inch. That's half an inch.
Oh, that is
John.
half. That's what I'm doing wrong.
So you're lining up your 1/4 inch along your sewn line.
What was that? Did you have one? Oh, I haven't squared it off.
No, you need to square it off.
Where's the little ruler then?
It's under that
No,
one.
that's the big one. There's the little square one there. I need one of those lovely ruler racks, I think. Right, so I'm doing 4.5. I'll get this right, hang on. You carry on, I'll sort it.
Use that, because it is easier. There you go.
Right, so I need 4.5 to be there.
Okay, so...
Am I wrong?
No, it's fine.
This is good, because
it's fine.
No, I'm not doing that,
No, because you're cutting this side,
yes.
So you want the side that you're cutting on the right. You hold the rotary cutter in the right hand, so the side that you're cutting will be right. If you're left-handed, obviously, it's to the left.
But then I measure.
So you're measuring it off.
4.5.
Yeah, turn the rule around, because you've got your 4.5 measurement on that side. Okay, so that makes it easier.
Right.
And then you're lining it up square on the 4.5.
To the 4.5 there.
That's it.
And there.
That's it.
Oh, that didn't cut through that time, I don't think. Could I have a new blade? Oh, no, there you go. The other thing I thought of was, did you put a new needle in after the paper piecing?
And then I think Chris did, yeah.
Okay, so I've done 4.5 that way.
Yeah,
Then
so just lift your ruler up, spin them out.
Twist that round. I've done it wrong. Have I not?
No, you haven't. You haven't. Turn it again. That's it.
Blimey, it's just as well I'm not in front of millions of people doing this, isn't it? Oh, yes, so I only need to do one.
Yeah, you only need to do that one
edge.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless the other side had moved around.
So I need a new blade in here, please. No, they've swapped it. Anyway, done one. Oh, it's exhausting, this.
Is it hard work,
If we were
John?
in real life, could we stop for a cup of tea now?
Yeah, now we'd have a cup of tea.
I'm looking for my blue squares now.
They're here.
Oh, thank you.
Now.
Oh, now you carry on.
No, that's all right. Those need to be triangles, not squares.
What needs to be triangles?
The coloured pieces. You can
yes,
do it with
yes,
squares.
no.
You actually
Oh,
can.
God, it was a
You
bit
actually
weird.
can do it
Yeah.
with squares, but you'd have to draw a line on, or
So
just
you taking all the
make a line.
triangles then?
No, they're there.
Oh, okay.
They're there.
She's
We
doing
will
it to
need some
confuse
more.
me.
I am, yeah. It's
I knew she was.
It's a test.
I was looking at it thinking, this one doesn't feel quite right.
So now I'm pressing, and I'm just pressing the seams so in towards the middle, out at the other side, and then the two seams that I've just sewn, where I've sewn the rows together, you could press those open or press them to the side.
The thing is, it's about, oh, that's nice. The thing is, it's about, like, if I was on my own, I would get into the swing of
You
it.
would,
It's
yes,
the-
you
it's the-
do. You do. You do get into the swing of it quite quickly.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So you can really see the overlap there
Yes,
that
but
I'm
I
talking
like
about.
that combination. You know, I said I didn't like the white background?
Yes,
Well, I love the white background
on that
this
one. Yeah.
I haven't got any messages.
There is no white in this fabric. That's a very, very pale blue.
Oh,
But I think that
yes.
the white does just help lift that.
It's great to see John sewing, and the fact that he's learning and asking all the things we come across is brilliant. Oh, thank you, Beverly, my love. Move that. So you finished that one. What? P.S. No one can get as stuck as John. Oh, that was Hannah, not from you. So what are you doing now?
So
then?
I've just cut some more triangles, so
Okay.
we can make more of these.
With the dark, yeah, make it with the dark.
Yes,
then.
with the darker one.
Tina says it's brilliant when you join in, John, especially when they make it go wrong, Tina. But thank you. Right, so now, quick tip on pressing.
Yes.
When you want it to go under the dark side, you have the dark side on the... So I've set the seam like that, and then you
Yes.
have the dark side on the top.
Yes, press from the top.
Can you see that? Oh, yeah, yeah.
It is much easier doing it that way. You can do it the other way as well, but...
Well, at some point, you're going to have colours going under and over each other, aren't you, anyway? So what colourway did I
Yes.
do last time?
Oh,
Oh,
now this is where I wouldn't press to the dark side, having just watched you do that. I'm not really concentrating.
where's Jenniffer Taylor? I'm looking forward to doing the spring chicken cushion. Why wouldn't you press the dark side?
Okay, in this one, I pressed to the dark side because the background's white, okay? But also because these are the darker bits, I want the points raised up.
Oh, I didn't, you see. I wanted my middle. I wanted the points to disappear into the background.
Also,
Honestly, what are you trying to do? Make me look stupid?
Because also when you come to sew the next triangle over the top, which way are you going to press it?
To the...
Because if you press it to the dark side, you're going to have a really bulky seam where those
Look, you were a beginner like me once.
No, I'm laughing at the attitude, not at what you've done wrong. So when you sew across here, if you press that back that way, here you're going to have a lot of bulk folded over. So when I'm saying press to the dark side with this, but actually when you're doing it, if you're using a dark fabric, you just want to press towards the points. So you're pressing away from the background.
Okay. It's all
Okay.
rehearsed. We did all this in the rehearsal this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Beverly says her belly hurts. We'll go and see a doctor, Beverly. So hang on. So I want the blue on the top, the pale blue on the top if I want it to go the other way, don't I? I'm going to find the life out of any life this fabricate I've lined
So
out.
the rule about pressing to the dark side, I mean, there may be people who prefer still to press to the dark side, but ultimately
Yes,
you're
do
going to...
email in if you are one of those. Prove Lucy Brennan
You're
wrong.
going to cause yourself problems when you come
I've got enough of those.
to sew the next bit.
Yeah, it's her job. That's why she's caught up with me. It's what she does for a living. Now, I don't understand how you get a big wodge of colour. Do you put it further down for a big wodge of colour, like that?
Yes, further in towards the centre. Yes.
Like that? So
Yes,
I get more
exactly.
ochre?
Yes, you
So if I
will.
put it up there...
The closer you get to the triangle, the less of the colour fabric you're going to see.
Okay.
The less of the point, excuse me, you're going to see.
The only problem with pressing that way is my seam allowance is going to be there, which is the direction I'm coming from. Isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like if I start sewing here, that seam allowance is tucked under that way there. Do you know what I mean? And
Yes.
I'd rather it was tucked under this way. So
Yeah,
I
but if
couldn't
you
go on.
pressed it properly, it won't get in the way.
What kind of contract are you on? I'll have a word with HR. Is HR's in today, aren't they? Yeah, that's fine. Message from HR, you're both freelance, I don't care. Do you know what? If we messed up, they could just get rid of us today. We could walk through the door and they could go, thanks ever so much, but
will
we
you
don't, want
just
you, we don't want you back. Don't bother coming in tomorrow, John.
Oh, dear me.
That's fine, because I could come round and feed your children. You could go out to work and I'll come
Right.
round and feed your children.
Okay. That's very kind of you, thank you.
Yes, well, that's when I'm living in Jenniffer's she shed. And also,
I wouldn't mind living in her she shed. It's a very
No, it's
nice she
isn't it?
shed.
And
yeah.
Shelley's coming to the Sewing for Pleasure show. Her Clint, he built her a she shed.
Oh, nice.
And there's another lady on Facebook, isn't there? It's only got the groundings down so far. They're having a sewing she shed.
It's a she shed.
I'll just do what you do. And that. Who says?
Yo, yo, yo.
And saying brilliant show. Lots of fun. Memories of the birthday day. Thank you.
Oh,
Zach.
dear. Nightmares of the birthday day.
Oh, there you go. Teresa's on my side. She said she doesn't like watching Lucy anyway, so it's quite good. No, she didn't say that at all. She said you always ask the right questions, John. And what, Wayne? Who's that meant to be?
Oh, stop it. I think you do that to me once a show.
Right, come on.
Okay.
What you?
So
Go on then. Send
I've
them
just
through.
pressed that corner, so I'm just trimming the block back.
Yeah. Elaine, it's great to see you join in, John, and watching Lucy itching to take it off
No,
you.
I was trying not. I was really trying
That's
not
from
to.
Elaine. You're a real tonic to watch. So thank you, Elaine, my love.
I was trying
I've
to
got
be,
another one.
I was trying to be a good teacher, let you make your own mistakes.
Yeah, I've had 39 years of that. I've got nothing arrived, Wayne.
Oh dear, we've only got one more.
One more quickly. No message from Margaret yet. What does Margaret say? Morning, John and Lucy. You're cheering me up, loving the demo. Love, Margaret.
Thank you, Margaret.
Jeanette says, I don't understand this. Love watching John sewing like that. Ha, 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 says Jeanette. Do you know what? They didn't laugh at me at the Royal Opera House. They didn't laugh at me, you know. The Royal Shakespeare Company.
Was that when you were making Wonky Stars when you were there, were you? No.
Wonky scarves. No, we didn't do quilting in those days. It hadn't been invented, I don't think, then.
Oh, of course it had.
I know, I'm only 39. I've crammed a lot into my 39 years. All right.
Oh,
Have you nearly finished?
I've nearly finished. I'm about to sew it the wrong way. But concentrate, Lucy.
Oh, no, we haven't put it together yet. Oh, that one wouldn't go there. What colours have you got? Oh, there's too much pink in this one.
Well,
I fear.
I like pink.
Got 4 minutes to finish this block.
Okay,
Lucy.
that's fine.
Right, so when you've sewn them together like this, you've then literally just sewn
the
all
blocks
12
together.
blocks together, haven't
Yeah,
you?
exactly.
And then we'll talk about the quilting in a second.
So just in the same way you sew a block together,
Yes.
you sew the blocks together.
Yeah.
And then...
No message. Still got Elaine's message there.
Oh, I'm trying to recover. Okay.
It's okay, says Teresa says. John's doing his best like we all do at home.
Oh.
We can't all be superstars like you know.
Give
She
it
hasn't said
over.
that, it's me saying that.
You did very well.
What, sorry? Right, when you're joining the blocks, will the seam still nestle, Lucy?
You can move them around so they do. If you've got a directional centre, then no, unless you press them alternate ways.
Right.
So you could wait to press your blocks, lay them out, and then press them
Okay.
alternate ways. Alternatively, you can press all those longer seams open.
Yes. Well, that would, because that's
But
part of
that
the next,
one would, yeah,
the next
those
part of the
won't.
question is how do you stop the bulky seams? But actually, you wouldn't have that. They wouldn't be that bulky, those points, would they?
They're not too bad. No, they're not too bad. But you
Because-
want, if I'm sewing a quilt together and the seams are going the same way, I don't press it the other way. I just leave it and stack them on top of each other. Yes, it does create a bit of bulk.
Yeah.
But I would rather have that than have a twisted seam.
Yes.
Okay.
It's done now, isn't it? Oh, no, you can put the blue ones
Well,
in.
I'm just gonna, yeah.
It's nice, isn't it?
Starry, starry night.
You see, the reason I like the... Oh, that's not right.
No, I don't like it like that.
What do you mean, which was the one you did? This one's
That's
too...
nicer.
Oh,
That's
that's
nicer.
better, but it's
Yeah.
too heavy, that one, isn't it? But this is the you'd fun
But
you'd
this is
have
why
anyway.
I'm saying you might very well want to, yes, you might very well want to make all the points and then arrange them
Yes.
like this.
Yeah, because I
rather
think I'd
than
get rid of one of these two heavy ones.
but
and that-
even rather than doing a block at a time, because then you might have some that are bigger and put them
Yes,
together.
yes.
I quite like it when there's smaller ones and,
Oh,
and
yeah,
bigger
yeah.
ones. but
To me, that one's just a bit heavy for all of
Yeah.
those. But as you say, if you've got all of your squares ready, you could take that one from block number 4 and put a different one and move that one over there, couldn't
Yes.
you?
And the other thing I'll say is it's very easy to sort of get into the habit of making them all the same.
Yes.
So you want to consciously angle those triangles when you're sewing them
Exactly.
to make it look different, because that's the joy of it, I think, when they do look a bit different.
When you're in next? Because you're going now, that's what I'm saying.
Next week. Wednesday, I think.
Next Wednesday.
I think so.
Monday, Tuesday. Am I in next? Oh no, I'm not here next Wednesday. I'm here next Wednesday. That's if she's still got a job. She'll just go and see HR. Could you call in on HR on your way out? They're telling me. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Okay, right. There is going to be a slight rush now because while you've all been watching the demo, you haven't been checking them out, and there's an awful lot of people got these in their baskets. So please, 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 if you do want them, please check out your baskets. Right. The one we're making now. Right, so here we go. This is this one. So this one here is you get 1/2 metre of the floral, 1/2 metre of the pale aqua, 1/2 metre of the fuchsia, 1/2 metre of the ochre. This one you just seen me and Lucy making. Then these get 1.5 metres of the blue, 1.5 metres of the white. So you can decide whether you make it nighttime or daytime. And the instructions, £40 and 99 pence. There's the still. Now the one that Lucy made, I think I'd definitely do it with the white background with the one that Lucy's made. So you get 1/2 metre of the Tula bees, 1/2 metre of the bright orange, 1/2 metre of the pom-poms in begonia, 1/2 metre in the pink and purple. Then you get 1.5 metres of each of these. Again, you could use whichever one you want as the background. I think the white one looks lovely. And the instructions. Now, you do need to check out on that one. Very, very, very popular, that one. There it is. Lucy's also fussy cut, and you can, when you're fussy cutting, there is enough fabric to fussy cut the 12 bees, but please be careful while you're cutting them out. Please, what? You can say, there's too many people talking. You can say, please beware, but what was the other message? Oh, for that one? Okay, less than 20 of those, less than 20 of those. Right, and then last but not least, I've got the starburst one. Just wait for the graphics to go and then I'll tell you about it. There you go. So you get 1/2 metre of the starburst, 1/2 metre of the stepping stones, 1/2 metre of the apple spot on, 1/2 metre of the bright aqua, and then this one, you can choose. You either have your background as the gorgeous pink or the bright white. I think I'd be tempted to go with the pink. I'll just ask Lucy before she goes, because you're going to rush off your train, aren't you? If you were doing this bundle here with the flowers and the stepping stones and the apple, would you have the background as your pink or your background as your white?
Pink.
Yeah, I think I'd do the pink as the background and then have the white on the back. Let me just show you. I'll just take the white out. Oh yes, look, because that's what your finished quilt would look like. Look, I said, didn't I earlier? It looks like spring, that one, doesn't it? Oh, I love that. And then this would be your back. This would be your backing, so you wouldn't actually see that. That would be your backing. Now, can I just? It's 46.99. Very quickly, let me just do this because I said the only way that. Oh, and I forgot to tell you. I'll tell you something else about Lucy's quilting in a minute. She quilted in 2 different colours, going crisscross like that. But we'll have a look at the picture in a minute. Right. I said that Lucy's look would only be white background, but you know what? It would look gorgeous with the port. Look, that would look rich, wouldn't it? That's very Vivienne Westwood-esque, I would say that. Oh, I said Vivienne Westwood-esque. Hannah said it looks like red wine. But doesn't it look lovely? And then you'd have this as your backing. Oh, that's nice. And then, of course, everybody's favourite on this one, the one with the night sky, is that one there. Beautiful. Anyway, have we got to... Oh, there you go. That's the night sky one there. Going across the bottom. Right, have we got quickly, have we got a close-up of Lucy Tinker? Because what she's done is she's used orange going one direction and purple going in the other direction. See, it's attention to detail, isn't it? Can you see? Oh, yes, you can see it there. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Right, don't go on. Today seems to be going on forever. Jenniffer Taylor's back in a minute with a spring chicken, and that's not me. I'm like an old boiler, aren't I? More than a spring chicken. I'll censor myself, don't worry. I'll see you in 3 minutes. Watch the adverts. Me and Jenniffer Taylor and an old chicken back after this.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts.
Join Sewing Quarter at the Sewing for Pleasure show this March. From Thursday the 15th to Sunday the 18th, the NEC in Birmingham is transformed into fabric heaven, where you can enjoy sewing, quilting, patchwork and dressmaking with the experts. Find the Sewing Quarter team on stand H06. And with the chance to meet our guest designers as well as presenters Natasha and me, John, we'll have live demonstrations for you to enjoy, plus special show prices on exciting product. Snap up your tickets and bring a friend for free with our 2-for-1 ticket code exclusive to Sewing Quarter. Quote the code EV26 at www.sewingshow.co.uk and you can get 2-for-1 prices on adults and seniors for 1, 2 and 3 day tickets.
There are many different ways you can buy from us here at the Sewing Quarter. You can order from us by calling our free phone number at 0800 112 4433 and talk to the team at our UK-based call centre. Alternatively, there are other ways you can buy from us. You can go online and shop through our website at www.sewingquarter.com. You can even watch the show there and shop as you go. You can check out as many times as you like throughout the day and only pay a small fee of £2.95 postage and packaging for the whole day. We also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all products excluding custom cut fabric. Our friendly UK-based team will help guide you through every step. Join us from Friday the 9th to Sunday the 11th of March as we have a Mother's Day bonanza. This exciting weekend is jam-packed full of unmissable shows with some fabulous guests. And Dashwood will be demonstrating with Westerly's brand new rulers, just perfect to add to your collection. We'll be taking a look through Joe Carter's fabulous toy box, and we'll have our first ever visit from Claire Louise Hardy from the Great British Sewing Bee and author of The Great British Sewing Bee Fashion with Fabric. So tune in throughout the weekend as we spoil every mother out there with a range of fantastic makes. Friday the 9th to Sunday the 11th of March, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Follow us on Twitter for more inspiration, top tips, news, and share your own creations with us.
They just said in the gallery, I was standing out this way to start, they went, ooh, spot the spring chicken. Actually, we're wearing the same colour. That wasn't planned, not like the balloons yesterday, that wasn't planned. I think I'm a bit slimmer than the chicken, actually. Yeah, mate. It's cute, isn't it? Jenniffer Taylor's here, she's going to make this for us, especially for Easter. Got 3 bundles to show you, 3 bundles to show you here. It's called Chicken Cushion. Now, normally they come up with a witty name, don't they? They come up with a, you know, anyway. Oh, it's Rebecca Reed. It's crazy. She doesn't wear those anymore. I have to stop doing that now, don't I? She doesn't wear those anymore. No. Right, Hannah's saying, she'll be watching, Rebecca Reed. She's saying, Rebecca Reed, stop wearing them, John, because you did that. Have you seen Rebecca Reed's house on Instagram? Oh, it's gorgeous. Oh, no. I live in a lovely house as well, but hers is gorgeous. I've got 3 bundles. Start with the one that Jennifer's made. What you get, oh, that one's, I've just opened the packet and there was already one open. So in the bundle, you get here turquoise chicken duo. Does that mean there's 2 chickens in there? You get 2 meters of fabric. You get half a meter, 1 meter. Half a meter of the cameo linear, half a meter of the lovely turquoise floral, Katie Jane that, and then a meter of the, oh, now I did learn these this morning. No, I've done cameo, I'm doing this one here now, the biscuit, that's cameo, ecru, that's it. Now also, unusually, you get some iron-on interfacing, and you get some thread, and you get your instructions, all of that, for £22.99. Do you want to have a look at the chicken? There it is, looking very perky. Oh, actually, Jennifer's embellished it. Yeah. Oh, she's added. Anyway, we'll carry on. Which one would you like to do next then, Hannah? Adita Sitar, this one, I love this fabric. This will make a very, very different chicken, this one. You've got the lovely icon fabric there, half a meter. You've got the lovely spray time in, is it called marmalade? I can't remember now. And then you've also got the latte, I think this one is. Which one, red? Oh, coral red. And latte, thread, interfacing, and the instructions. £22.99. There's the bundle still. And then last but not least, now this one's going to be a cute one, isn't it? Because in this one, you get your instructions, your interfacing, and your thread. But then you also get, now, this is the yellow gingham from the Fruity Friends. Yeah. Yeah, it's a printed gingham, that one. That's a printed gingham, that one, not a woven one. Then you've got the grenadine, he says. Yeah, grenadine, linear. And then you've got the ecru. You've got the ecru, meter of the ecru there. There's the bundle still. Right. Shall we go and make a cushion?
Yes.
Yes. Now, I promise you I won't be doing any sewing, and I'll behave myself in this hour.
What do you mean?
Well, in the last hour I was a bit naughty. I was doing some sewing.
Well, I was having something to eat and I could hear you giggling
That was
in the
Lucy
background.
giggling. I was trying to be very professional. Right, I see. That's why my tablet's
We
on that
know,
funny
we
angle.
know differently.
Okay, thank you very much. Right, is this easy?
Yes, super easy.
Can I make two?
Yes, you
Is that why it's called duo? That's why
There's
it's called
enough
duo.
fabric in there to make 2 cushions of that size.
Oh, of that size, yeah.
So it's a 17-inch by 17-inch cushion front, so that's a pretty standard size cushion.
Lovely.
And you can make 2. There's enough in there, and actually you'll probably have some left over.
Okay. Now I need to warn you already. There's no cushion. There's no cushion pad in here, right? This one, half the stock's gone in baskets already.
Oh wow.
Just so you know. Right. No pressure then, Jennifer.
No
to get it right.
pressure. Right. Okay. So in Rebecca Reed's instructions,
Yes.
it's telling you how to do a zipped back, which is what I really like about it. So the applique is, nice and simple. It does come with a template as well, which is fabulous.
Oh,
so
right.
you know that your chickens are going to be both size, both the same size. And what I'm going to do, this one's actually back to front, because then what I'm going to do is have this one the right way, so then they're looking at each other.
Oh. Now, where did that flower come from, Jennifer Taylor?
So I just did that. I can show you how
So
to
there's
do
no template for
There's
that?
no template for the flower, but I can show you how to do the flower. That's
Okay,
not a problem.
brilliant. Okay, perfect.
So depending on, and this will make more sense when we start doing the applique, because obviously you've got your interfacing
you
in
were
there.
saying the pattern is for a zip back.
Yes, so
but
it's a
there's
zip-
no zip in the bundle.
There's no zip in the bundle.
So you did.
So I did an envelope cushion.
Which I prefer.
Oh, do you?
I so prefer an envelope back
Okay.
to a zip back. Personally, it's my own personal.
Well, in the instructions it's for the zip, but what I'll do for you today, I'll show you how to do the envelope. So you've got both options at home. So you can either
Perfect.
use the instructions or watch me do the envelope, okay?
Yeah.
So the first thing we're going to do is take the template of our beautiful chicken. So
Yeah.
I'm using the gingham style.
Go across the bottom of the screen.
What's that
That's
called?
linear. That's linear
Linear.
grenadine, and that's from the Fruity Friends Yellow Gingham.
Thank you.
And this one is
that's the one I'm using today.
Ecru.
Ecru.
No. Yeah, Ecru. They've
Is there a
moved them on the table.
Is there
That
a
was all.
difference? I thought it's all the same base. Or is it not?
No, the one with the Dita Sitar has got latte, and they're the two.
Right.
Anyway.
Oh, I can't even see that. Right, okay, so you've got enough interfacing here to do your chickens and other projects. So I really like this. This is a bundle that's just going to keep giving. There's lots of leftover fabric.
Okay.
Okay, so I want my chicken to be facing the way it is on the template. This
Right.
one is backwards. I did it on purpose.
Right,
So
okay.
this one's going to be facing the other chicken. So I'm going to have my interfacing side, the shiny side, facing up. What?
Nobody believes you that you did it on purpose.
No, I wanted the cushions to look at each other. I was thinking on a sofa.
Okay.
Because then what you could then do, he's got the flower picking it up, and then I was going to do a flower falling down on the floor.
Oh, what? When she's thrown it away?
Like, I don't want your
I
flower.
don't want your flower.
No, he's like picking the flowers
Okay,
for
now
him.
you're using the interfacing, which is in the
kit.
bundle.
Yes.
But my immediate reaction would be, oh, I'll get some bundle web.
Yeah, no, the quick method would be to use your Bondaweb.
Yes.
But all the interfacing's doing there is giving you that structure on your templates.
Yes.
So you can do
I've got bundle web here if you want to buy some bundle web. If you want to do it if you're going to do it my way. Okay.
the cheap way.
Cheap.
Cheat.
Oh,
The
cheat.
cheat
I thought you said cheap.
way.
Like cheap. I thought you
No.
did.
No.
Right. Okay. So let's go.
So I'm going to trace my chicken off. So you can see that you can clearly see your chicken through your interfacing.
Yeah. Now you've got glue upwards on this one,
Upwards.
haven't you? So on this one on the.
I had glue
Downwards.
downwards. That's right. It was a bit wobbly, wasn't it? So what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to trace where my stitch line is
Yes.
and where the his wing is. But it's the body of the chicken that you want, but then you're actually going to need to have a wing. I'm doing this really quick, guys.
Yeah.
A wing, a beak. Now with the beak, I like to go past how big the beak is because I'm going to put that underneath my chicken, all right?
Yeah.
And the same with this little, I keep forgetting what that's called. What's the
Well,
one
it's
with
a
it?
coxcomb, isn't it? But I thought only boys had coxcombs. We've had
Well-
this conversation lots of time.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway.
So I've got, so just to recap, if I just put that side, we've got the body of our chicken, and I've just got these little bits for placement.
Yes.
I've got my beak that I've overextended because I'm going to put that inside and behind my chicken. I've got his lovely wing there, and I've got his little Fraggle Rock on the top.
Right.
All right? Okay. So
But what you could do is to make this one different. If he's supposed to be the boy carrying the feather of the flower, you could miss the coxcomb off that one, couldn't you?
You could put it underneath the chin if you wanted to. You should have a chin one, shouldn't you? Don't they have a chin one? Or is that different?
turkey?
Oh, I don't know.
We're
making
We're
it
not
up now.
farmers. Yeah. What do you want?
Can I have that iron, please? You're not a farmer. Brilliant. Okay, so obviously you've got your coloured fabrics in your bundle. So how you want your chicken to be is entirely up to you.
Right.
So I'm going to go with the gingham for the body. So this time you want the shiny side of your interfacing down.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to iron my the body part. So I'm not doing these ones.
Yes, just the body.
Just the body part.
The graphics that are coming in there, that's the yellow gingham one that Jennifer's using now.
Cool.
The turquoise one that Jennifer's already used is in single figures already, Jennifer.
Oh my gosh. So the reason why I am cutting out after I've attached it to or adhesed it to the fabric is that it gives you that nice clean edge.
Yes.
Otherwise, if you cut out...
Oh, no, if you cut out and then try and stick your interfacing on, it's going to go all over the place.
It will go all over the place. So keep it full and then cut it all together.
Yeah.
That's how I do it. Move that out of the way. So I've got my chicken body.
This would be a nice project to do if you've got, you know, children coming to stay or something, wouldn't it?
Oh, it'd be perfect
you know what
for
I mean?
that.
Like if children are going to stay with their granny and granddad for the Easter holidays, they can make their own Easter cushion, couldn't they?
Yeah. So then I'm just going to repeat that now with the other side. And then obviously you can go ahead and use your scissors and cut those pieces out as well.
Yeah.
So I've already gone ahead and done that with that one.
You stuck that to my mat.
There you go.
Need my June Taylor Teflon.
Brilliant. Yes, it's true. There you go. So
June Taylor.
So you should have.
Right.
Oh.
Oh no.
No, he's here. He's here.
Beak.
Beak. Ta-da! Oh, it's so cute, isn't it?
Now, do you know what? That's reminding me of a cartoon that. Anyway, don't worry.
Okay. So you need to get your ecru fabric or your plain fabric, depending on which bundle you're going for.
Yep.
And again, this is 17 by 17 inches, which is
Chicken
43 centimetres.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, if you want, sorry. So if you're going to go with the zip back, then obviously that's a separate piece of fabric. So this is just the front. So this is where you can then start playing around with the placement of your chicken, whether you want him to be, you know. Start playing around. But essentially, again, I oversized his little bits there, so I can pop those in and underneath. So if
it's called a comb, and hens have them too. Oh, are the boys' ones called a Oh, no, I better not say that.
What? A cockerel?
Yeah, because I
are
said it's called the
cockerels.
coxcomb, didn't I? But apparently it's just called a comb, but hens do have them.
Do they?
Yes.
I don't know. I really want some chickens.
You want chickens?
I'd love some chickens.
Can you have them in your back garden?
I could, but it's just the dog that's the problem.
Oh, no, we could teach it to round the chickens up at night
God,
time.
I'm sure he would, yeah.
Oh.
With a leg sticking out of it.
Right.
Okay, so you might want to just play around with the placement. And again, if you're going to start adding little embellishments on or whatever, then obviously you might want to consider that as well. So once you've done that, then you're ready to start stitching into it, really.
Oh, right, okay.
So what I did is I actually stitched the wing onto the chicken first and did that separately away from the cushion fabric.
Yeah.
And then I went and stick.
Okay. This is where the interfacing is different to the bondweb, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if it was bondweb, you could stick that
to the chicken.
and then stitch, and you can stick those to the cushion, and it. But
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
going to do it.
I'm going to do it all by hand. So yeah, the
so
bundle. I mean, the bundle web does come in like super handy for that.
Oh
Just make it a lot
yes. But
easier.
in your bundle, you do get the interfacing, the normal thread, the sewing thread, and the fabric. There it is. There's still right.
Brilliant.
Sorry.
So I believe you have some wonderful, colourful threads for me to use.
Do I? Right now, these are
Do you
separate,
want to go through
aren't
those?
they?
Go through those and then I can
Yes,
thread up.
yeah. So these are not in your bundle. You have to buy these separately. So you get a bundle of 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blue, pink, green, purple, and orange. Or maybe you got the variegated ones from the Sashiko earlier. £9.49, those. Now, for some reason, I have a yellow one on its own as well.
Should we use the yellow one, or do you want me to use one of those colours?
It's up to you, it's your
No,
cushion.
well, go on. I did that one, this one's your one.
Oh, okay. I would do... I'd want to do the top stitching in... Which bit are you stitching first?
I'm going to do the body.
Okay.
Wing and body. This is why it's fun, isn't it? Getting the colours in. Oh, which one?
I like the green one to go round the wing.
Yep.
But I'd quite like the orange one to go around the... oh, no, use the green one for all of it. Use the green one for all of it. And then remember the yellow one separate,
Right, okay. What I like about these, when you separate them, they actually come in a loop like that.
Oh.
So find the knot, which is just on the top there. So I'm just going to make a little snip, just with the one thread. So keep that there, and then you can tell I've used these quite a lot recently.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go with the one loop.
Yeah. How brilliant.
Cut that off. No, I'm not finished yet. So now hold it, and now turn your fingers the wrong way.
Right. We'll have to do that again in a minute, because that was too quick for me, but...
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah, good idea. You see, what I would have done is I'd have put a nail in the wall when it was at the...
In your she shed. I'm not putting nails in my she shed.
It's wood, that's what it's for.
And that's also a good method.
Yeah. Looks a bit sad there.
I know, it does look sad, doesn't it?
Right,
Okay, so
okay.
obviously you can bring your template in again and get the positioning, but what I like about it, that you can start making the chickens unique to themselves.
yeah.
So I'm going to put it into a slightly different position.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to attach this on using a blanket stitch.
Okay, so you've not attached it with a machine stitch or anything like that. You're
No,
literally just doing
I'm
it
gonna
with
hand
the
stitch it.
appliqué stitch.
So I think this is a really nice one for a project where you know it's coming towards the evening, but you want to do something with your hands. You know, just a really nice slow stitching. So I've come away onto the gingham, which is right next to where my wing is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm off.
Right.
So then I'm going to go in and come out where I went into the gingham, and then we're ready to start. So you're off your wing.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next little tip I'm going to give you,
Take in a pen or your water erasable pen. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to be stitching with my right hand.
Yeah.
What I would do is go and make a couple of marks. In fact, I'll probably, if I can get a pen, actually, this doesn't really work.
Oh, I've got a pen here.
Have you?
I've got a biro. Do you want a biro?
Yeah, perfect. Pop a biro and just make 2 marks on your finger like that.
Oh.
Okay, so how big it is will depend on you. I'm going to go quite big so I can get the stitching done quite quickly.
Right.
Then that way, what you can then do is use that as a guide for your stitches.
Oh. Andrew says, morning, Jennifer. Don't let John get involved or else your cushion will be ruined.
Harsh.
That's not very nice. Learn from Lucy's mistake. Oh, it's Andrew and Hillary. They're
Oh, okay.
They've been blocked anyway.
They haven't.
Andrew's being smutty about... Look,
Is he?
I'm not reading it out. Yes, exactly.
Oh,
You can
naughty, naughty.
Naughty, yes.
Right, okay, so
Right.
there's my, so I've done one blanket stitch already.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is I'm using the pen mark against that last stitch,
Yeah.
and then I know that my next one's going to come in here. So I'm going to go into the wing and out through the gingham. So I'm taking the thread and I'm wrapping it behind my needle.
Yeah.
And then what I really like about the blanket stitch, because you've done your interfacing, your stitches seem to just sit really nicely on the edge because it's obviously lifted when it's
Well,
just
got
fabric.
a
It's got like a
tiny
little ridge,
step, hasn't it? Yeah.
So it just gives it that body to work around. So that's my little tip for it. I'm just going to go in. So again, in through the wing, out through the gingham, using my little pen marks to know where I'm going. I like to put my thumb over where the thread's going to be going through. That way, if there's any knotting, it's hitting my thumb first.
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
So yeah, and again, so bring that over. So again, behind the needle, I'm pinching where it's going through. So again, any knotting I'll see before it gets to that point.
And then off you go, just keep going around.
Okay. Now we've chosen, excuse me, to use the plain colours. And I said, oh, maybe you got the threads, the variegated threads from earlier. Well, I've still got those available if you want some of those. Done them all together, the yellow, the orange, the purple, the pink, the green and the blue. But they're variegated, look.
They're lovely.
Beautiful, aren't they? $11.49, you get 6 of them, DMC. So they're the variegated ones at $11.49. You like those? Okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to quickly get to the bottom. So I think, well, the only difficult thing about the blanket stitch is when you get into a point like this.
Right.
So I'm going to do one more here. Okay. So when I get to these kind of points, and the same here when you come in from the back of the chicken's neck into the back of the neck, same process. So I've done one there. I'm going to go back in here and go to the point.
You've gone back through the same point?
The same hole, yeah. So there's one. And then I'm going to do it again, but on this side.
Oh, so you make like a little fan.
So you make like a little fan. That's how I like to do it anyway. So you can see, so it gives you a nice clean edge then.
It's cute, yeah.
And then you can just carry on then.
You carry on, and I'll read. Oh, when Fiona's message arrives, I'll read it. Oh, she says, I think the chicken would look ace with a heart balloon in its beak.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
Thank you, Fiona.
This is what I like about this kit. Like, it's just a nice little base, and then you can just start adding your own little artistic flares onto it.
Okay, the first one was Fiona. The second message was from Jennifer, and she said, what? Oh, no, hang on. Oh, John, she said, I love this channel. John, you're so cheery and funny. And, oh, keep up the good work, Jennifer. It was the way she read it. Way Hannah read it. She read, keep up the good work, Jennifer. Keep up the good work, Jennifer.
Oh, thanks.
That's from Fiona.
Thank you, Fiona. Oh, yeah, because it's from Jennifer. Right, okay, so now we're finishing off. So because we've got this connecting thread that goes all the way around the edge of the applique, what I like to do is just find the last loop of the first blanket stitch. So I'm just going in here.
Yeah.
And then go straight down that hole. So then that way it looks like it's linking in.
Oh, yes.
Yeah? Okay. Now those are a bit large, so you can, again, this is a great thing. You can make it as big or as small as you like.
But I like that.
But so I just think it's
If you wanted it even, you'd get your machine to do it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, sure. That's a good point. And I think that's what's so lovely about hand stitching, especially with like Mother's Day coming up and things like that, because you know, when you're hand stitching, you're working into it with your hands. Yes. And I think it does have a different feel to a machine stitch because it's very uniformed, yes, whereas definitely. This, you know, I might have made a little mistake there and that stitch is a little smaller and that one's a little bit bigger. It just adds that different quality. And obviously with this being a little country chic, then it works nice. So what colour do you want the outside of your chicken?
Well, no, we said green, didn't we?
You definitely want to go green again?
Yeah.
So I just think, again, finding the knots, I think if you use that as your length of threads, that's 1 and then 2. That's a good length, so you're going to get yourself into a little bit of a pickle. I'm just going to cut that. So the tip then...
Oh, no, no, watch her folding up, right, so
I've got my fingers in.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go, this one's going that, you could just go that way, but I like to go it in opposite directions.
Yeah.
So there'll be a point where your fingers won't want to move anymore. Then what I do is I trace back to try and find the centre of it, so I can pick that bit up, like that, and then let go.
Is that how they do it in the factory then?
I don't know, it's just something I've done. Oh, okay. But that's how I keep, instead of rolling them onto card.
That's a really much neater way of keeping it, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's how I do it, just so you know. And I am actually using my Sashiko needles as well.
I was about to say to you, that was easily thread. You're using a Sashiko.
I'm using my Sashiko. I love it. Once you go Sashiko, you never go back.
Oh, really? It's got a nice, easy hold to thread,
Well, it's a super sharp needle, but just the eyes are just fantastic.
They're available on the website.
Okay. So we have our little chicken in place now. So I am going to pop a few pins on there. So obviously, if you are right, John, if you're using your bonder web, you wouldn't need to do this. No. It would just stay in place. Go on.
No. I was going to ask a really stupid question.
No, it's not stupid. No.
I know, it's really stupid.
Go on.
I was going to say, do you sew your comb and your beak on at the same time?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch around the body
Yes.
and not the edges of my comb and my beak. And then, like as I did on my one, I actually did that in a completely different colour.
Oh,
But I'm
okay.
stitching it in as I do the body. So that's why I gave myself a little bit extra material, so it's not butting up,
Yes,
it's actually
yes,
going
yeah.
underneath.
Got it.
All right, so it wasn't a silly question, was it?
No, it wasn't in the end.
Oh, wrong one. So again, I was just about to do something wrong there. So when you're doing
Oh.
the blanket stitch, try not to start on the body, so you're coming on the edge.
Right.
So that, if you're doing that, can you see where the needle's coming out?
Yeah.
There you go.
Wrong.
Well, it's not wrong, it just gives you a different finish. So
Okay.
so I want to come out there
On the backing fabric.
on the backing fabric. Then I'm going to go into my chicken and then go back through the same hole.
Mm-hmm.
And then make sure you're wrapping it around.
Fab.
So, I mean, you don't have to use your blankets. You could probably do a Sashiko finish as well if you wanted to.
Oh, could you? Yeah, I was going to say, could you just do a straight stitch or a back? You could do any sort of stitch. I suppose the
Shall we
only thing about.
see how it looks with the
Oh yeah,
straight
you
stitch?
do. But the only thing I think about the blanket stitch, it looks like the edge is finished, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Because you've got that
Yes.
extra bit going round. But let's have a look what it looks like with another stitch.
With a little
then.
stitch.
And then I've got, in a minute, I'm going to go across because I've got other cushion patterns as well that we're not going to make, but I've got other bundles for other cushions. So what are you doing? What is stitch you're going to
I
do
think
now?
let's go Sashiko if you want.
Okay.
Just see what it looks like. So I'm going to go running rather than Sashiko. So I want my stitches to be even on both the stitch and the
Yes.
gaps.
That's why those needles are good because they're going to go slice through that fabric. can't they?
Absolutely, and don't forget
Oh, I like it.
because it's interfaced as well.
Yeah.
So you know your Sashiko's needles really do come into their own now. Again, I'm doing these quite over big.
Oh no, I like that. I think that looks cute.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep going then.
Yeah, maybe it's because it's the gingham. It's working on the gingham. I don't know, but I think it looks lovely. Right, can I leave you to carry on stitching just around the edge?
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to go and do a recap on these bundles and show other new bundles. Then I'll come back and we'll do the next stage.
Yeah,
of the cushion.
sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah, carry on.
Right, starting with the bundle that Jennifer's using. Oh, it's a very busy table here. Hang on, let me just move that over there and that over there. Okay, so this is one that Jennifer's using. So you get half a metre of the yellow gingham, half a metre of the grenadine linear, and a metre of the latte. Ecru. Doesn't matter because it's what you're going to get anyway. There's enough to make two in there. You've got the thread, you've got the instructions, you've got the interfacing. Lots of you got that in your basket. Lots of you got that in your basket. Please make sure you check out because you know it's not yours until you've checked out. Right? Then the one that Jennifer had made is this one. Most popular on this one. So what you get on this one, you get half a metre of the gorgeous Katie Jane. Then you get half a metre of the cameo. And this one is the one you get half a metre of latte. No, ecru. Ecru. Single figures on that one. There's the finished cushion there. And remember, there's enough to make two of the cushions. Then we've got the Adita Sitar. So you get, always popular, I love this. We did this in a green as well, didn't we? Half a metre of that, half a metre of the splash time, a metre of the ecru, no, latte, plus the instructions, plus the thread, plus the interfacing. People loving that one. You're loving all of them, actually. To be honest, you're loving all of them. I'll go through the threads in a second. Well, I'll do the threads on a still, if that's right, because I've got... Oh, no, sorry, I'll go and get them. It's just because I bring them over there. What I've got now is I've got two other designs. Which one would you like to do first? Now, Jess made this one, we think. Now, if you want to see this being made, YouTube, 11th of January. The gingham's here, look. Oh, yes. The birds are upside down. Well, that doesn't matter. They're on the right way up on the roof. They're right way up on the roof, look. So what you get in each of the bundles of this one, I'll show you that one first, is you get 2 meters of fabric. So now this is different. This gingham is woven. That's a woven gingham. It's gorgeous. Not the yellow one's not gorgeous, but this is a woven one. Feels more like a picnic tablecloth, that one. Then you've got the birds, white birds on grey. Then you've got the red ditzy. Then you've got the linen look, linen effect, non-linen cotton. Half a metre of each. You get the thread, and then inside, inside this one, you get the templates for the appliqué and for the embroidery. I'll just open it so you can see what you're getting. There's no instructions, there's just 2 templates. So if you do watch the YouTube, 11th of January, you get both of those. You get both of those. I'm just wondering, that heart wouldn't be big enough. You know, we were saying that the chicken should have a heart balloon. That one wouldn't be big enough. Okay, so that one's there. That one's there. Then I've also, I love this bundle. I just love this Macao range. Look at this, right? So you get the thread and the instructions. But look at this. I'm going to open this one out very quickly. Uptown birds, you've been living in an uptown nest. Look. Half metre of that. And half metre of this. I love this one. Multicoloured squares. All Macao, all 100% cotton, all machine washable. That's gorgeous, isn't it? Look. Now, these are in the bundles, but we can't get these. We can't get this range again, sadly. You didn't. Oh no, I love it. But there'll be another one along. Then you also get the cream and the green fabric and the thread and the template. And that is £26.99. And then now, last but not least, Crazy Rebecca Reed. She made this one for the magazines. Oh. And she made this one on the show. We haven't got those fabrics, but we've got lovely fabrics to show you. But just, it's a raindrop, I think, isn't it? Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. It's called Writer's Rain. That's what it's called. So you get the instructions. Now, there's enough in here to make 2. This one has got a zip back. You get 2 zips. You get 2 zips in this one. You get the embroidery thread, 1 black skein. You get the sewing thread. And you get 3 spot-ons in different blues. Baby blue, marine blue, and cobalt blue. This was made on the 20th of January, so you can look that one up on YouTube. And you get half a metre of the mercury as well. Fabric, obviously. So all of that, fabric, zips, yes, skein, thread, instructions, picture of Crazy Rebecca Reed, all the templates are in there. What I do, see, is I'd photocopy the picture of Rebecca Reed, enlarge it, and then use it as a dartboard. I'm only joking. Is she here? She's not. Which glasses is she wearing? Get her to come in. Let me see what glasses she's got on. Oh, she's not wearing any glasses in that picture. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, go and look at. I'll do. Oh, she's in a meeting. It's not important, she says. I'll go across there and I'll do the skein bundles over there. Have a look at the cushion. So you've got the threads that Jennifer's been using here. So there's the bundle of the plain, oh, they're hardly plain, aren't they? The bright colours there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those you get. £9.49. I also have a yellow one on its own. Should you want a yellow? Oh, that's now come open. You won't get this one, don't worry.
I pinched a bit.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah,
oh, that's all right then. £1.99 for the yellow one. That's yours now, then. And then we've also got some variegated, which are gorgeous. You see, if you'd been sensible, you'd opened a variegated
I know, I'm getting about that.
Look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 you get there. I think it's £11.49, isn't it? Yeah, £11.49. I know, they're all lovely, aren't they? I couldn't choose a favourite out of those. OK, so what have you been doing while I've not been here?
Nothing. No, I finished my chicken.
OK.
Around the edge. It's nice with the little...
no, I like the little straight stitch, yeah.
Okay, so now I went in and did some details. So obviously this is the little girly cushion, so I've put little eyelashes on there. So I've already stitched in some little eyelashes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use the back stitch to do that, so I'll just show you that super quick. So I've already done a couple of stitches. So basically you're always going backwards on yourself.
Okay.
So you can see that I've got stitch, stitch, and then a gap.
Right, oh, I see.
So there's a stitch, and then there's a stitch, and then there's a gap.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do now is go back on myself,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to come out to create a gap. Let me come back down. Can you see?
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this thread should always be in the middle of your stitch. So that's one, and then if I do one more, so I go back, and then back, so you can see that the thread again is in the middle of the stitch.
How did you... Oh, excuse me. How did you do the eyelashes then?
How did I do the eyelashes?
Yeah.
So I did one eyelash first.
Yeah.
Then I did the centre, the eye.
Yeah.
Then I came up, did the next to it. Then I did the eyelash,
Yeah.
and then I came back.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, it makes total sense.
Perfect. I'm just going to finish it off. So I'm going to use my.
Okay,
Sashiko
single
over.
figures on the turquoise one, almost single figures for the yellow gingham one.
Cool.
Please be careful. Please make sure you check out your basket, because remember it's not yours till you've checked out.
There we go. So again on Rebecca's design, obviously you've got the little frills there. You might want to pop on. You might not want to pop on.
Or you might want to do that in the different. You might want to do the heads in a different fabric. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
the
So
heads
any of
different,
this can be all traced off and made
Yeah.
different, and so it just depends on how it is. So shall I do the little?
Well, how long we got? Oh, ages. Yeah, keep going. Ages.
Ages. So I'm going to do it in the lovely yellow. Lovely yellow.
So you're now gonna. What are you gonna stitch around the beak and the comb now?
So I'm going to stitch around the beak and the cone
Okay.
now. So I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do those in a. What should we do them in? I don't think a chain would work, would it?
No.
A chain stitch. So I do. Let's do a smaller running stitch.
Right.
Oh, let's do. Actually, let's do like a prick stitch.
Oh.
That'd be good. So this is going to be a small stitch. So it's like a back stitch, but smaller.
Yeah.
So I'm going to create a gap. But then I'm going to go back on myself. So there's the back stitch, but you are making that like super tiny. So what that will look like is just a little bubble.
Yeah.
Can you see that? So this is actually a really nice technique for putting in zips actually. Hand finished couture zips. Prick stitch. There you go. Yes?
Trying to find fabric used in John's patchwork cushion. Oh, there's no name on that. Do you mean the one I did yesterday, the Greek cross? If you go on, have we got them? Are they on the website? If you go to the website, the bundle will be disbanded now. Bit like Take That. But if you want to go onto the fabrics, go into pattern fabrics, and it'll be art gallery, and it's called Doll's House. Doll's House. But there won't be. I don't think there'll be any bundle. I don't think there won't be a bundle, will there, Hannah? Oh. If you want to ring the call centre, they know more than I do. I know nothing. 0800 112 44 33. They're not in the same building.
Sorry.
Not in the same building as the warehouse, I think. It's kind of like. Anyway, so I don't know. I haven't got a name, but I hope you find it.
I hope you find it. So the reason why I wanted the chickens facing each other is because when I was making it, I had a friend in mind. Her name's Sally, and she's having a bit of a tough time at the moment. She's got a really bad knee. She keeps going in and out of hospital, but she absolutely loves chickens.
Does she?
So I thought I'm going to make her some cushions. So that's why they're going to be facing each other, so they can be on the sofa. So this is for you, Sally.
Oh.
There you go.
Well,
Not this chicken. This is your chicken, but I will be sewing her some chickens later. But it's with her in mind.
Yes. Sally, get well soon,
Oh, no,
Sally,
yeah,
my love.
get well soon, my doll. She's having a right rough
Yes,
time.
we'll frisk her before she leaves the building, Sally, in case she's got this.
No, it's mine. It's quite a punk rocker, isn't it?
Oh, that's nice. That's called a prick stitch.
That's
that
a
one.
prick stitch, yes. You're giggling.
No, not at all.
So it is a back stitch.
A back stitch.
There's a pick stitch.
It's what?
A pick stitch, which is it gives you the same effect, but you're always stitching forward. So it's like a running stitch, but really super tiny.
Okay, but this one you go
because you go
back on the
backwards, this one's called a prick stitch.
Got it. Story of my life, always going backwards.
I caught up on Facebook the other day when somebody posted a video of you doing the slow-mo.
We don't want to discuss that, thank you, Jennifer. Everyone here thinks it's hysterical.
You're not happy. You're not happy with it.
I don't. No, I don't mind. I'm used to being taken the mickey out of. It's fine.
Do you really want some braces though?
Do I want what?
Some braces though.
No, only because somebody mentioned, because I'm always doing this. I'm always doing that, you see. And
Yes.
someone said, oh, I wish you'd just get a pair of braces. And,
But it's the backpack, isn't it? They're quite heavy, aren't
yes,
they?
exactly. Not the fact that my belly's round and my trousers
No,
won't
not
stay
at all,
up.
John. Right, I'm nearly finished now. And then if you want me, I can show you how to do the flower very quick. Not stitch it on, but
Yes, if
show
you
you how to,
wouldn't mind, yeah.
how to cut it out.
Yeah. Oh dear, single figures, both turquoise and gingham. What about a decent sitar?
Okay. Oh,
No. Could you, if you wanted, put a little bit of wadding behind the chicken?
oh yes. I was about to say that before we went off. After you'd gone, I had an idea. So before you finish, I'd stick a bit of wadding in there and just make it a bit more
Just
plumper.
makes it, yes, exactly.
In fact, you could do it on the wing and the body.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, let's make some little cuts.
So now, when you've, I'm jumping ahead, but when you've made this, would you back this before you make it into cushion, or would that just be the inside of your cushion there?
It's up to you. It's personal preference. I'm probably not going to wash these cushions, so I wouldn't worry about it. But if
Yeah.
you feel that they're going to need that, then I'd
No, but Sally will be washing them up.
Maybe
Sally
that's
loves
true,
these,
actually.
yeah.
She has got dogs. So, yeah, I would potentially put another piece of material on the back. You've got enough in your kit, to be fair.
Oh, yes, okay.
And actually, I really like the idea on the raindrop cushion where you used a bit of the gingham for the back. So, again, there's plenty left over, so you could really, you don't have to do the whole thing in the ecru.
All right, flour?
Flour! Right, so I'm going to use my chicken so I don't waste any fabric. So, if I just cut it so it doesn't
Cut up a chicken?
Oh, no!
Oh, that's Hannah's lunch. That's having chicken salad for her lunch.
Okay, so let's just pretend that's a piece of fabric. Okay, so how I did my flower is I folded it in half and then half again.
Right.
And then I did it again.
Oh.
Like that.
Yeah.
And then all I did, I used my sort of thumb as a guide and went around the thumb. Like so.
Oh, so no drawing involved then?
No. So this is an oversized one, but that's the flower basically.
Lovely.
Just a quick way of getting a really cute one.
Do it again, Hannah's saying. Do it again. I don't think she's
Again.
got any fabric, has she?
Actually, I have in here.
Oh, there you go. This one.
So if I just get a piece of... So if you know that you want your flower to be roughly...
Then so you just cut a square.
Yeah. So cut a square roughly the size that you want your flower to be.
Yeah.
That's the starting
Yeah.
point. So you can be able to get a gauge when you put it onto the chicken.
Yes.
Is that too big? Is that too small?
Yeah.
So once you've got your square, whether it's right size or wrong size, it doesn't matter. So fold it in half, so now I've got a rectangle. Then I've got a square, and then I'm folding it back on itself again. So it's a half square triangle. Is that right?
Oh, it's an ice cream cone.
Ice cream cone. Ice cream cone. And then with the point facing down the thumb, so these are all raw edges here, I'm using my thumb as a guide to get the sort of petal shape, if you like.
Okay.
So then when you open it out, so I've got a heart shape, like so.
Oh.
Ta-da! Yeah? And then we can just do some quick French knots then to keep that down.
Yeah. Oh, I quite like it as well if it's not stitched around the edge and it's just stitched in the middle. Then you've got an extra
that'd be a
depth,
nice
haven't you,
idea.
then?
So do you want that one further down? Like as if it's in the ground?
Yeah, go on.
Let's go in the ground. Okay, so I'm going to place him there. So I'm going to go through the back up to the front. So with the French knot, you're taking your needle and you're wrapping it around once, twice, three, depending on how big you want the knot to be.
Yeah.
But you don't want it too tight, otherwise you're not going to be able to pass the needle through, but you don't want it too loose either. And then I'm going to go back down where I started. So I'm holding on to the thread, so I'm kind of keeping the tension, but enough to be able to pass that needle through, and obviously I'm going full bore with my threads.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, look.
and then you can just keep going with that.
Do you know what? You could do lots and lots of little ones, couldn't you? Is that what you're going to do? To make it look like the middle of a sunflower.
Oh, yes, that's nice. There you go. Yep. So you can just keep going.
Yeah.
You could go crazy on that, couldn't you?
Looking like a pansy at the moment. They're in a funny mood upstairs today.
What are they doing?
I don't know.
Stop it. You're putting us off.
It's Tim and Hannah flirting with each other.
Oh. There you go. So I'll leave it at that. But you can just keep going.
Oh, that's lovely.
You can just keep going on that. So you could almost do the whole thing if you wanted to.
Yeah, no, exactly. That'd be lovely.
So if I just tie off, and then what I then did to create the stalk is I used, I believe it's called a stem stitch. If I've got that wrong, I do apologise. Might need a little bit of green.
I was going to say, making a stem. Right, Sharon says, sorry, John. Oh, no, listen, Sharon, don't apologise whatsoever. I only posted the video because you seem to be quite amused by the slow motion thing. Love you. Sharon, I don't mind in the if I minded, you'd have heard. No, I don't mind at all. All this is a bravado, like, oh, they do this, they do that. You know what I mean? I don't mind at all. And it did cause, you see, the thing is, the most important thing in life is to laugh, isn't it? Laughter is a tonic for your life and a good healer, and you need to laugh at least 15 minutes every day. And if I'm the butt of your joke, Sharon, so be it. No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. Tina says, hello, John. My husband's sister... Oh, hang on. My husband's sister bought him braces. Then he lost weight and his trousers bounced up and down like a clown's. Oh. So, Tina, I'll have your husband's braces then if he doesn't need them. It's only because we were in next. I was in next with little Paul, and they had some braces. And I thought, should I get some of those? He was looking at the weirdest looking suits, like an orange suit and a pink suit and a blue suit. He's got the blue suit, and then he panicked because they're all slim fit, and he knew he wouldn't fit into a slim fit. Right. Stalk.
Right then, stalk. So I'm just going to go underneath my flower so I don't see the start of it. So obviously when you keep doing all of your lovely French bits and bobs. So I'm going to do a stitch. Let me just get a bit closer. Nope. There you go. So the stem stitch, again, is kind of like a back stitch. So I'm going to go here, and then what I'm going to do is stitch in between that stitch there.
Do you go through your thread?
No.
Oh, okay. No, John. No, you do not.
No, I don't. So it's almost like they're lying on top of each other.
Okay, so it's like a back stitch, but you go half over the one before. Oh, I see. Oh, it's nice, look. Coming in now.
So I'm going to go here.
Yeah.
And then there. So it gets a kind of like layered brick effect.
I've never heard it called I don't know what it's called.
If it's not, I apologise. I'm sure it's a stem stitch.
Does anybody know in the last 10 minutes what that stitch is called? Stagger. Tim's saying it's a stagger stitch, as if he knows.
Well, it might be.
Yeah, but Tim, sew in.
Well, it might be. I just think that's a nice one to do. Really simple again. Simple stitch, but quite effective.
Oh.
There you go. So you could pull off another little stem there.
Yeah.
And then do another little flower if you want to.
A smaller flower, yeah.
So I'm gonna cast off there, and I'm gonna show you the envelope back before we finish.
Yeah, if you could, yes, please.
Okay. Oh, actually, before we move on, what I then did after I'd got the base, I started just making it up after this.
Well, it looks like you made most of this one up, actually.
Right.
No offence.
No, so
that wasn't meant rudely.
So what I did is I used this as a base to actually weave through. So I went through that one, and then through that one, and then through that one. So it starts like to coil. I just think it creates some really nice texture.
Yeah. Oh no, that is nice.
I make most of the stuff up.
Well, yes, but it's nice, isn't it? Just because there's no rule, is there? There's no real rule. You can do what you want.
So the reason why I started to thread into it is because one of the Sashiko stitches that I'm playing with at the moment, you use your running stitch as a foundation, and then you weave into that running stitch.
Wow.
So I'm using the stem stitch as that, but that just gives it that nice raise.
Oh, it is stem stitch.
It's stem stitch. Ooh, you got it right. So you see how it's actually protruding from the fabric there. So it actually looks like a stem.
yes.
That's nice, isn't it? It looks like a plait actually from the front. So I'm just going to tie that off super quick and then we'll show you how to do your envelope.
Yeah, because how many minutes have I got till we finish with Jenniffer?
It's super quick, John.
Oh, I've got 6 minutes, got ages.
Oh, perfect. We've got loads of time.
5 now.
5.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. So there's our front of our cushion done. So you're happy with the cushion now. You're not adding any more detail.
Yes.
You're ready to make a start. So
Oh, Hannah would have embroidered her name on it.
that would be nice as well.
Because we always call her Hannah the chicken.
Okay. So what you're going to want to do now is get 2 pieces of fabric that need to be about 3/4 the size of. So if you're going to make a huge cushion, the rule is just 3/4 of the size.
Yeah.
And I've already gone ahead and pressed in a double hem.
Right.
So you could either use some like Bondaweb or hemming tape to iron that down so you don't stitch, or go in with a quick top stitch. I'm going to do that now.
Yeah.
So again, you could even go in with your embroidery if you wanted to.
You could do what, sorry?
Go in with some your embroidery thread if you wanted to.
Yes, you want these lovely stitches,
Yeah. Would you pass me that other one there, John?
I'll pass you the other one.
Thank you. So I'm just going to chain that for speed.
Yeah.
So how you stitch that double hem down is entirely up to yourself. You could even use some of the ribbon from my first hour. You could again add that on for a bit of detail.
Or you've got, if you've got the 680, you've got decorative stitches.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
you could really play with that. So I think this is a nice one actually to combine a bit of hand stitching and some stitches from your machine. And again, depending on what kind of look you want, you could either have the double hem facing you, or not facing you. So it depends on what kind
Tilly
of look.
Rose Vintage would have it facing you.
Yeah, she would. So whatever side you want. So I'm going to go with the plain side. Make sure that's facing your cushion, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm going to place that down, like so. And then again with the other one, making sure the side that you want to see is facing down. So you can see that my hems are in the centre of my cushion, and I've got all of the raw edge on the outside. Then all you literally need to do is sew around the whole thing and then turn it out. So we're going to need Derek the Dobber. So I'm so glad we found it.
Okay, you found it, not me. You don't need to leave a gap though, because you can pull through that, can you?
Because the gap is there, yeah. So if I just stitch around that super quick, I'm going to pop a few pins in.
Hannah said, can you just leave it raw edges inside? Or would you finish off these edges?
Well, what I like to do, and hopefully we have time, is once you've stitched around, is then when you turn it out, press it and then go around again. And that creates like a little border and gives you really crisp corners. So you could overlock it if you wanted to, or it's almost like a French seam, the one that I'm doing, but I'm
Go
doing
on then, 2 minutes to do your
oversized.
mock French seam. Do what, say, Hannah?
What was that? So you're stitching through all of the layers. I'm just going to increase my stitch length a bit. It feels a bit tight. So I'm going to do this super messy just to get round.
I've got 2 minutes, it's fine, you're all right.
So we
We'll get time. Jenniffer will to do it in 2 minutes.
say.
Hannah wants to see what you meant by doing the turning through, like the pretend fencing, because she's making cushions for her living room at the moment.
Ah, okay, yeah, sure.
And she doesn't quite know how to finish off the inside. That's why we've done a cushion show, and that's why it's been so in-depth, because Hannah doesn't know how to do it.
Just using it for our own means. We're on to you now. We're on to you. Right, so I'm nearly finished now, so I'm just doing my last corner. So I do like the envelope one because it's a nice way to, you know, freshen up the home without having to go and get a zip.
Yeah,
you know, you've got your fabric,
exactly. But I always find, maybe it's just me, if I fall asleep on the sofa watching the telly with a cushion with a zip in it, I always wake up and the zip crawls to like a scar mark down my face.
No. Right, okay, so I'll need that in a minute.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is clip the corners, so that's the important part.
Write it down, Hannah, clip the corners.
Clip corners.
Oh, she can watch it on YouTube, she doesn't need to write it down.
Turn it out. In fact, I'm going to take that off.
Oh.
It's going to catch. Derrick of the dobber.
Just push the corners out.
Push the corners out. Oh.
Oh.
Push the other corners out. Okay, so again, before you do this, I would go ahead and press, but because we're running out of time, I'm not going to. So once you've got it pressed and all of the seams, so what you want to do here is get the seams and roll them. So you're pushing the seam forward.
Yeah.
So do that and then go in with a press.
Yeah.
But then what you then do is go back in with your sewing machine.
Yeah.
What seam allowance you use here is entirely up to you. So if it was a French seam, it'd be a really small seam allowance. But because we're creating an effect, I'm going to go with something like a 2 centimetre seam allowance.
Because it's creating a border. What happens is, Hannah, your seam allowance inside is only like 1 centimetre. So if you do 2 centimetres on this side, all of your raw edges are caught in between.
So if I just do the one corner so you can see what I mean.
Anna's saying she'd have to do this, couldn't leave a raw edge, because in her house she'd have to wash it a lot.
Well, this is the perfect way of finishing off your cushion and adding a decoration at the same time.
She's got 2 days off, so could you bring it in with you on... Oh, it's not the chicken. You're not making the chicken one.
So where this is what your cushion would look like, for instance, if you're doing it like mine. Whereas with this one, what it does, it gives you that really, it gives you a nice border on the outside on that corner there, because your cushion won't go into that area.
No.
But if I just turn it inside out, you can see that all of the raw seams, they're all hidden.
Hidden inside the seam.
So you can't see, it's all enclosed seams. So it's a nice one if you're going to wash your cushions a lot.
Yes, which she is going to. Thank you, Jennifer. I've got to rush off. When are you in next?
I don't know.
No, but it'll be very soon, no doubt. Right. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. The bundle, that. Yeah, the yellow gingham one. Oh, it's the one that's in at the moment. $22.99. Enough to make 2 cushions. You get ½ metre of the yellow gingham, ½ metre of the grenadine linear, and 1 metre of the acrylic. They're both that single figures alongside the turquoise one. There's the turquoise one. You get ½ metre of the ditzy, ½ metre of the cameo, and 1 metre of the ecru. 22, enough to make 2 cushions. That's the one we made, one Jennifer made, anyway, not me. Then I've got the Edita Sitar one. Now this one has latte as the background. It has ½ metre of the Edita Sitar icon, ½ metre of the spray time in dark coral, thread, instructions and interfacing. £22.99. Then the other 2 very, very popular ones are the Home Sweet Home ones that Jess made on the 11th of January. That's the red gingham one. Okay, so that one there, you get the red gingham, the grey birds, the red ditzy, and the linen look non-linen, and the thread, and the templates for the appliqué and the embroidery. £24.99. Oh, it's less than 5 of those. There's the kit. And last but not least, this gorgeous one. Get the crazy birds. 11th of January. Crazy squares. Fabric. There's the fabric. There's the templates. There's the thread and the instructions. £26.49. Right. Tomorrow's menu. I'm not in tomorrow. Could be Natasha tomorrow. Here we go. Coming up. Oh, hang on. Coming up tomorrow with Natasha. Easter Animal Parade, 8 o'clock. Victoria's Twist Lock Bag at 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock, the new Oh, they're those lovely tapestry fabric. I've got a lovely picture of a lady who'd cover her stool in that tapestry fabric. 11 o'clock, quilted table cover with Victoria P. I'm going to go and have a look now at the fabric she's got. Thanks ever so much for your company. I will see you on, what day is today? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday morning at 8 o'clock. Natasha's in for the next 2 days. Enjoy the 2 days because they are fully packed with projects as well. Make sure you check out your baskets.
Join Sewing Quarter at the Sewing for Pleasure show this March. From Thursday the 15th to Sunday the 18th, the NEC in Birmingham is transformed into fabric heaven, where you can enjoy sewing, quilting, patchwork, and dressmaking with the experts. Find the Sewing Quarter team on stand H06. And with the chance to meet our guest designers, as well as presenters Natasha and me, John, we'll have live demonstrations for you to enjoy, plus special show prices on exciting product. Snap up your tickets and bring a friend for free with our 2-for-1 ticket code exclusive to Sewing Quarter. Quote the code EV26 at www.sewingshow.co.uk and you can get 2-for-1 prices on adults and seniors for 1, 2 and 3 day tickets.